Welcome to Preseason TV. Right. Good evening to all those in Asia. Good morning or good afternoon to all those in Europe, and good morning to all those in America. Yeah.
And good morning to America. Good afternoon to Europe. And good evening to Asia.
Yeah, that's how we should go. Yeah. And how are you doing, Jamie, today?
I'm being treated like a true guest and being fed with most of the foods that I'm not meant to be eating a lot of. Seeing some family, extended family that I haven't been able to see face to face in a while because of COVID. So yeah, it's strange. Kids are growing up, but the family's still there, which is good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Family is good. And friends are good.
And the preseason's underway.
Yeah.
Not exactly. With like fireworks, it's more like at least we scored the first goal that Spurs had in any kind of competition this season. But super early days.
True.
So we have to wait and find out who we're going to sign, if we're going to sign, who's going to go, when they're going to go, the usual.
Yeah. We're back up to the same scenario again from our club. It's been so many years. It's been like that. So for me, I've more or less got used to it. Not to have much expectations of what's going to happen. The preseason yesterday, I didn't get to watch about the first hour of the game. By the time I got to it, Nuno made 10 changes. So it
was a training session. It was a training session.
Yeah. So all the kids were playing from 60 minutes and above.
And the kids were playing here too.
Yeah, the kids are hiding. And how would you say the first 60 minutes? I was watching some extended reviews and all that. So nothing much to shout about. Yeah, so it's more like a kickabout for the guys to just get their feet on the ball, run around.
I did have one thought. I thought if everything goes down the pan, this could be the kind of football we should be looking forward to in the future. So,
I mean, come on. I think half of the squad hasn't come back yet from their holidays from the Euros and the Copa America. So let's see. Like a lot of people have been saying, the real test will come during the Chelsea and the Arsenal match. So let's see what happens there. And maybe from now, what's been happening, Nuno's just testing out the kids, giving them a run around to have a look who has the potential to come in or to develop. And of course, the fitness is another part of it. Whether his fitness regime is working on the players we have. See, so, but a lot of comments have been flown around about the players, what this and that and this and that. And a lot of comments also saying, "Come on, guys, it's the first match of preseason."
It's okay.
Yeah, so give him a chance. So I say, I think we have to give him a chance. But like what you said, a lot of fans have a lot of high expectations as usually, right? But this time, at least, we know where we stand with the coach we have. And like you said, no players have been linked to go. I mean, there are players linked to leave, right? But nothing substantial. And of course, we have players linked to come in, but still nothing substantial. Yeah, nothing substantial. The only closest deal I see going through now maybe will be Tomiyasu. And the rest of it is very hard to say because I've been saying in other streams, right? The deal that Nuno has done with Levy, and I mean the deal for Nuno and Paratici. Hold on for a while. Let me bring in a guest.
Okay. And is it Tommy?
No, it's Shanska.
Okay.
Hi, Shanska.
Hey guys, hey
Good
Jamie,
afternoon. Is it
Fusion.
good afternoon or good evening now?
Good evening. It's good evening.
Shanska's evening too. I think he's about what 5:30, 6:30.
Yeah, it's 5:30. 5:30. Yeah.
5:30. And hold on, there's one more guest coming in all of a sudden. Hi Shane.
Hey Shane.
Evening all.
I can't hear Sanskar or
John.
Shane.
Can you okay do a voice test? Can you hear me, Jamie?
Am I audible?
I can hear you fine, but I can't hear anyone else apart from you and me.
Shane?
I'm not muted, am I?
No, you're not. I can hear you.
Is my
Shanska?
voice clear?
Yep, your voice is clear. We're all clear. Jamie, can you hear them?
I can hear you and me, and that's it.
That's weird.
I can hear
hear-
Sunskar and I can hear both of you too.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
we
going
hear
to look
you.
at my cam and mic. Let's see what's on my
Okay.
audio.
Yeah. So okay, hi guys. Did you all get to watch the preseason yesterday?
Yeah, I didn't watch the full match, but I did watch some of it, and I got a brief idea of how some young players are shaping up. Like Niall John really impressed me yesterday in the first half. He was really good player.
Yeah.
I only
Shane?
got the highlights. I only got the highlights.
I didn't drop the link to you. You didn't get the link for the match.
I was in bed pretty early last night.
Malaysia, India, Australia.
I finished work and I come home and I crashed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How can you crash a bed?
Yeah.
I think by the time the match played, it was already about 12 your time, right? Yeah, Shane?
I think it was about 12 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 o'clock your time. Yeah, that's why it's pretty late for it. I mean, consider it's close to morning time there. Yeah. So okay.
I saw the highlights. I and I thought it was
I'll be careful.
You know, it was first game.
Yeah.
First game of the season. So, have you got a running card? I know the lighting's pretty bad in here, but I'm
it's okay.
house setting up. I'm house setting up at the moment, so.
Yeah. No, everything's okay. The lighting is bright, so no problem. The sound is good, right? About somebody dragging the chair.
Yes, my niece.
Yeah, and okay, we just go around have a short talk about the preseason match. Like for all we know, it's the first match of preseason. For me, it's that I don't expect that much to see most of everything, because by the time I watched the match, it was already in its last 30 minutes. And how would you say, the youngsters all came on, Nuno made 10 changes, and that's when we conceded the goal. But the way we conceded the goal was quite frightening, because the Leighton Orient player was attacking and we just backed up all the way to the penalty area, which is reminding me of what used to be during the Jose period. I don't understand why can't they just stand up and block him and stop him, no matter how. But like I said, it's preseason. Maybe they don't go too rough into it. So 1-1. So we just take it as 1-1. So all right. But of course, performances from the rest of the guys during the first half hour, I didn't watch it, but I watched some of the highlights. So I guess it wasn't a bad performance for them, and Scarlett took his goal quite well.
Agree.
Yeah. And
Jamie, you're on mute if you're saying something.
Yeah,
Jamie. Yeah.
Dane's. That was one of the few pieces of class in the whole match, and Sanskar reminded me the name Niall John. I hope that Niall makes it into a few first-team appearances this season.
Yeah. We all hope that too.
I think that Maxim Paskowski, Pastowski, Pastowski, he played really well too. I think he had a really fantastic game while he was on the pitch from the highlights that I saw.
Yeah.
But it was. I think I actually went in with expectations. Somehow I thought more players would be back, and we were just gonna. Wasn't gonna make it a cakewalk, but it was gonna be. It was going to be a victory, and we went 1-0 up. I thought, okay, here we go. It's just going to be a gentle game, but a victory. And then Leighton equalised, and then it just turned into a practice session.
That's when, how you said, when Nuno changed all the, not all senior team, most of the he took up the first 11 and he put on the next 10. So I guess whatever happened. So most probably when we considered the goal when the youngsters were there. So I guess
my biggest issue was Eric Dyer being made captain. That as soon as I saw that, it was like, you've got to be kidding me. We're going to be stuck with Eric Dyer at the back line once again, which means another ordinary season if Dyer is in there.
Yeah.
But
shame.
Again, that just shows the players of our side. It was devoid of anyone that was in the Euros. So it was the academy and the players that were left behind because they weren't good enough to go to the Euros.
Yeah, that's true. His academy and those left behinds or leftovers. But whatever it is, it's still Nuno's first match in charge of first game that's in charge in. But like I said, what can we take from it? It's not much. But what do we expect from it? It didn't show much either. So a lot of the comments out there now is saying that this and that, players didn't this and that. So, but it's still the first match. Let's see what happens on the way. Right? We still got another 4 matches to go.
Another 5, I think it is, isn't it? Colchester, MK Dons, and the 2 Mines series. I thought there was another one in there as well.
But we see how it goes. Oh, don't forget, before the season starts, right? I think we'll be playing one of the European Conference League matches.
Yeah, that's right.
It's either that.
Conference League qualification.
Yeah. And a message from Bob Spurs. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for popping in. Right. What does Bob say? Big up, lads. Do you think there's a small element of fans looking too much into the first pre-season game? John and Scarlett plus points. Yeah, we believe that too. But what to do? We are Spurs fans. We always have high expectations, but the club never ever meets them. And the sad part is that we are reflecting on what Jose did, right? Jose went out on his preseason and won 10-0 against some village club somewhere in Italy. That's what they say. But
that's who we're playing in the first conference game. Some village team.
So what do you think, Sanskar?
Well, I don't yes, individually some players like Scarlett, John, they performed, but I was actually while watching the first half, I was actually more focusing on the senior players who actually have a chance of being in Nuno's starting 11, and one of them is Dele Alli. And he tried. I can't say he didn't try. He tried to give the effort. He was giving in the effort. He was putting in the shift. He was coming back, trying to get the ball from deep. But was he really that effective? No. And it was the same for him and Bergwijn. They both tried. They wanted to do it, but they didn't actually have that much of an impact. And Scarlett and John had a better impact on the game. And if I talk about the team play as a whole, the team play, I hope this isn't reflective. what will happen when all senior players come back. But the team play wasn't that convincing, and it wasn't watching anything different. It was just like watching Spurs last season. So that wasn't convincing. Like, honestly, if Leighton Orient had some better finishers, like, we would be in a tough spot, because Leighton Orient got a very good chance in the first half, and Carter Vicks, you could say he saved it, but he actually fumbled the ball, and like, we're lucky that Leighton Orient weren't better in attacking. So mixed feelings from yesterday's match. But then again, I know everyone's going to look too much into it. It's Nuno's first match up after all. But like, we shouldn't take this as an indicator of what's to come, especially when he doesn't have many. Like, we could easily see none of the players who started yesterday being in the starting 11 on the first day of the season.
I hope so.
On the bench maybe.
Yeah, on the bench for sure, like Ali and stuff. But starting 11.
What do you think, Shane?
I thought that Ali had an average game from what I saw of it. I didn't see in the highlights, extended highlights that I saw. I didn't think he'd done that well at all. And our favourite Yid kid gave Dele Alli a 6 out of 10. So it was just he watched the whole game. So for him to give him a 6 out of 10, I think that's probably fair enough. Average for an average, first season game. But yeah, Niall John had a good game. I thought that Jack Clark needed a bit more showing from him. From what I can see, he needed a bit more, probably, to go out on loan again and get more experience.
Yesterday was more or less the show for the youngsters, if I'm not mistaken, right? Most of our first team players weren't around. The first team players that were there last year most probably was Mora, Ali, Dyer, Bergwijn, correct? Even the goalkeepers weren't around. So let's see what happens from there. I guess Nuno will have to up his game soon, because after all the comments around, I think the desire and the passion is still a bit lacking at the moment. But like you say, it's still the first game. But some of us were hoping that they hit the ground running, right, to show that they have it and want to do it. But yesterday it was more or less like a kickabout in the park for the boys to run around and get their feet acclimatized, right? Yeah.
A kickabout that we hope would show at least a spark, but the only spark was Niall John and Scarlett's goal.
Yeah.
And also another week gone, and no transfers for Tottenham Hotspur, no departures, no arrivals.
Remember what you said last week, Shanska? We're all interested FC. Yeah. You got to copyright that or something like that, Yeah. Put it on T-shirt. Interested FC, the new Tottenham name.
Yeah, on the back.
And Spurs Alalivia are always lastminute.com.
Yeah, and then there's a lastminute.com too. So
it could be the stadium rights too. Interested Stadium.
The new naming rights. Yeah, we're coming up to that. New kit, new naming rights, but it's all hearsay again.
Yeah, but in that hearsay, have any names been bandied about?
No.
About
they just said that we're getting close to the naming rights, right? But somehow or another, none of us know who they are.
No.
Yeah, none of us know who they are. Oh gosh. So, but nowadays naming rights are not that easy anymore, because the companies with the money, right? I mean, the actual companies with the big money, right? You're talking about the alcohol, tobacco, and the gaming side. More or less, you can't come in already. You've been banned from all this advertising and sponsorships, correct? So what we are looking at now is that the naming rights for things that have to be linked to a club. See? So let's see who's coming in.
Well, they say it's close, but as
no name.
Everything's close.
Yeah, that's Spurs. Everything is closed.
Maybe it's going to be the Pfizer Stadium.
Oh yeah, everybody come and get your jab and a Viagra.
Because the NHS hasn't got enough money, and the stadium has been used as a COVID vaccination center.
Yeah, but how much do you think Pfizer will pay Levy? That's the question, right?
It depends. It depends.
But guys, you always must remember, naming rights are usually paid around in a 5 to 10 years period. So it could be a 250 million naming rights deal, but it will take you 10 years to pay it off. So you're not going to get your 250 million up front one time, right? Most probably you get 25 for 10 times. So don't expect to have big money coming in to buy players from the naming rights. That's how I'm saying. Okay? Naming rights are just, it's called long-term money coming in.
Speaking of players, like our neighbor. Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
I was going to say 25 million, that's one player.
Yeah, but we need more than one.
And speaking of players, our neighbors just signed Ben White. Not signed, but they've pretty much everything's pouring towards them signing him for 50 million. And I have to say that's overpriced, but at the same time, they're still buying players, even if it's overpriced. And here we are, not even arguing for 2 million over Tomiyasu. And no, we don't want to pay that 2 million. And this is shambles right now.
But to tell the truth, my fear now is not the players coming in. My fear now is which are the players going out, because we have to let them out before we can bring people in. If we keep bringing people in and they don't go out, right, where are these players going to fit? You see? So
and also the big one, whether the big player coming back is actually coming back.
Yeah, and of course there are rumors. Then there are rumors out there that Kane doesn't want to stay, and that puts more pressure on the situation. But of course, Nuno has come out and said that Kane is not going anywhere. Period. So let's see what's going to happen from there on. Right. So what do you think, Shane?
There's talks of Kane not going to training.
Mm-hmm.
The England player said that.
You know, one of the English players that, was speaking to him said that he's not going to go to training. He's going to basically strike. I can't see it happening. I think Harry Kane's too much of a professional not to go to training, unless the deal's already been done and he's off to Man City or PSG or Rail, which is highly doubting.
Yeah, Eugene's pointed out that the relationship between Levy and Kane is at an all-time low. So,
there's some chatter out there to say that the Kane's team is not on good terms with Levy already. So, but whatever happens now, let's see. Okay, but in the end of the day, Levy still holds the key, right? Levy gets his money, he will let him go. But if Levy doesn't get his money, I don't think he will let him go. But I don't think Kane will be so unprofessional to the sense that he will do something like that, right? And like if you do really love the club, I guess he would put some effort to perform for the club. But I guess whatever is happening now is what you call all the pre-tantrum syndromes coming out. Whether he's doing it or maybe he's not doing it, maybe his his business team or his PR team is doing it, maybe trying to force Levy's hand. Yeah, his brother and his father. And let's say Wayne Bonner says that I can see us being stuck with most of the deadwood. Get them out straight, cash, player plus cash deals. Yeah, that's true. That's what we all see at the moment. We can't get rid of the deadwood. But like I've been saying a lot of streams earlier, that could be the deal that Paratici and Nuno has struck with Levy, right? Is to try to revive the deadwood. Maybe in January, then maybe we can get a better value for them. Because at the moment now, the market is soft, very, very soft. A lot of teams around Europe are having financial problems. And of course, if you have money, now is the best time to do your shopping. But the problem that if you want to offload players, it goes to you too. In that way, your players will have soft values too. So it's very hard for you to offload them. So I guess it's still a wait and see game, and let's hope that we do get at least 1 or 2 players to come in, right? If not, how would you say? Putting us in a spot again, Mr. Daniel Levy. Putting us in a spot again.
The next few weeks will show. The fact that it's still this late, and let alone the 2 months we waited for a manager, it's going to be a scattergun approach. We're going to have loads of speculation, lots of names linked, and then we'll get what we're given, maybe with a little bit of higher quality because of Paratici. But now we've gone from holding our breath for a manager to holding our breath for players, and for how the squad's going to look come maybe the Mind series or come the first game. So
that's true.
I think a possibility is that like maybe it could be like, knowing Levy how shrewd he is, he might be thinking that, okay, before we actually sign anyone, let's first get some money in. Let's either get the stadium sponsor or the new training sponsor, or even let's sell off some players and then we'll sign. We won't do any buying before we've got some more money in, because like I can totally see him doing that, and that could be just one possibility of why we haven't signed anyone yet. Because like apart from any players, I just don't understand why Tomiyasu hasn't been confirmed yet. Like at bare minimum, should have been done.
The Olympics, and they're trying to get the Japanese market by getting him in the Olympics or just after the Olympics, when footballs are at a premium in Japan, with all the international teams coming, they want that sponsorship money. They want that. It might be a Tachi Stadium or...
Shane, just hold on for a while. Let me bring on one more guest. Hi, Bobby. Good afternoon.
What an intro. That's an intro, mate. How you doing?
Just to introduce you, I guess you know Jamie, my partner in crime.
Yeah. Big up Shane. Or Shanska.
Shanska. Yeah, he's from Bangalore Spurs. Kolkata Spurs. Yeah, he's been a regular with. He's been quite a regular. Yeah.
He's connected to both.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on, Bobby. Yeah. So I know how you've been feeling about the games and the game that happened yesterday and all that. So just to let the guys know, what do you think?
Basically, what I was looking for is just a little sprinkle of what we're likely to see for the forthcoming season. Any sort of hope or some sort of form of a direction. My biggest qualms under Jose was the fact that we never had an identity, we never had a solid formation. He started with a 4. I think he's going to go between a back 5 and a back 4 in the coming season. The biggest thing I could take away from it is Dane Scarlett, obviously taking that goal really well. But at the same time, I'd be a hypocrite to say, fantastic performance by John and fantastic performance by Scarlett, if in the same breath I'm saying I can't take anything away with regards to the performances of Ali, Bergwijn, Dyer, Winks, etc. My narrative hasn't changed with regards to those players. Ali, I think, should be out of the club by now. The likes of Winks and Dyer clearly need to be sold. But I'm not going to change my narrative. Bergwijn, for me, has something in him, but I'm not going to go from let's see how it goes to suddenly, right, he needs to be out of the door because of the first pre-season game in a team that's surrounded by kids, majority kids. So, I think there's probably too much looked into it in some aspects, but we can't deny some of the plus points, which obviously is John and Scarlett. But like I say, with regards to the other players, it was their chance to show something. They failed. I think Sunskar mentioned it earlier. Ali didn't.
I think
Shane, hold on, Shane. Let me
Tarkovsky.
bring one more. Let me bring on one more guest. Hi, Soham.
Yes, sir.
Just to introduce you, you know most of everybody in the square here, right? The new guy on the block is Bobby from Bobspur TV.
Hi.
All right, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about yesterday's preseason match. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it.
Okay. The link worked, right? That I sent to you.
No, not really. No, it did not work. Yeah, I had to go over and I had to look into some really dodgy sites with even more dodgier pop-ups to get to watch.
Yeah. Don't announce the site, mate. Don't announce the site.
No, but it was very funny. In the beginning, right, the link was very hard to get on. After the second half, you just clicked on it and it went in.
Yeah.
After the second half, it was easy. Yeah,
I
was surprised.
Watch it.
I was surprised.
It was better. It was better from the desktop than it was from going through the app. If you went through the Spurs app, forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you got a smart TV, it would be even better. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so if you watched the match yesterday, so what's your feelings on? Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, like, how do I put it? Like, there wasn't really a lot to take away from it. It's just the first preseason friendly. Everyone's just getting back to fitness. Not a lot to read into it. In terms of players that I like, I really like Niall John. I really like Niall John.
Sanskar agrees with you.
Yeah, I really like Niall John. I like Scarlett as well, especially the fact that he did not have too many chances, but the one that he did have, he put away quite nicely. In terms of like players who I found to be like rather different from last season, I actually think Winks' role was a bit different from last season. Did you see how often Winks kept trying those long balls out from the back? I did not see Winks do it this many times in previous seasons. I don't know if it's Nuno trying to like change his style into a more of a deep line playmaker, like like Moutinho used to do in Wolves, like just ping long balls out from the back to the wings. If he's trying to do something with Winks, I don't know if it's going to work because it is Harry Winks at the end of the day. But yeah, we can always keep our hopes up. Anyway, Ali, I wish I saw a bit more from Ali. I mean, Ali was whatever. Same with Bergwijn. I really thought Bergwijn was going to take this defense to task, the Leighton Orient team, because he has the pace. I thought he would just run behind the defense and do all kinds of trouble, but he did not. And Mora was his usual self. In terms of fullback, none of the fullbacks played in their natural position, as it were, because Pascotti, or is it Pascotti? Pascotti, yeah, it's Pascotti, yeah. Yeah, Pascotti is a natural centre back. He was played at right back. He did fairly well, even though he was played out of position.
Agreed.
Cisse, is it Cisse or Kisse? I don't know how to pronounce that one. Cisse played at left back. Apparently, he's a right back. So I mean, yeah, when you consider that, he still did decently well. First half, our centre backs weren't too bad either. Carter Vickers was all right. Dyer was all right. But then when you went to the second half and all the substitutes came in, and then you were like, all right. Yeah, the kids are still not ready for the first team. That's all I could make of the players that came on in the second half. So yeah, that was that.
And there's another positive. So
yeah, go ahead.
Nice hairstyle. You've tied it up.
Yeah,
so,
I finally did. Yeah, I finally ditched my shoulder length hair. Yeah, I finally ditched that, and I got a haircut. Okay. Yeah,
that's a positive start to your season.
Yeah, pretty much.
For me, we are still in total lockdown, so I haven't had a haircut in 2 months. So it's running wild up there.
Yeah, I can tell, Eugene. You can tell.
Yeah. Bob and I don't have that problem.
Yeah, we don't, mate. No. We're literally wash and go.
Yeah. If the wind changes, we have a haircut.
That's it. Yeah.
But okay, just like going to Bob Spurs, his tag at the bottom there. We have signed anyone yet? That's the next big question. Do you think we will sign anyone this season again?
No, we won't sign anyone this season. We'll give a 10-year contract to Musa Sissoko and Harry Winks, and that'll be it. That'll be our contract.
Yeah.
But Paratishi's been given a lot of credit because he's come in, he's been in the job 17 days, etc. I mean, personally, I think we should move all the excuses to one side. Our squad is shit at the moment. We need some personnel in. We need some players in, regardless of players going out. And don't tell me there's no money available. Of course there's money available. You look at the financial reports from Enoch and Levy and Lewis, mate, 398 million worth profit during a pandemic year, says to me there is money available. The fact we're sitting there twiddling our thumbs over 2 million over Tomiyasu, who, by the way, there's every chance we might not be getting anymore. Because there's another 3 clubs who've gone in for him. The likes of Sabitz has been on the market for 15 million and suddenly he's gone up to 25. It's our own mistake. There's players out there who we can get. Ben White going for 15 million is a scandal. Arsenal are welcome to it. He's not worth 50 million right now. That's fine. But you're right, Eugene. It's about the players who need to go out. I mean, Dele Alli, in my eyes, is overstaying his welcome, regardless of yesterday's performance. I'm not going to change my narrative either or just because of yesterday's. I'll just read out this quote and tell me what you think. This is Dele Alli. I've come back in pre-season feeling strong, feeling good, and I'm ready for the season to start. For me, what's important is whose opinion I think is important. I have great people around me, great staff, great teammates. As long as they think I'm doing the right thing. I'm still young. I'm still improving. I've just got to make sure this season I come back stronger. What do you think to those comments?
Stop it,
guys.
sick.
I'll go one by one first. Okay, we'll get it first from Shane. What do you think, Shane, on those comments?
Stop it, you're making me sick.
Yeah.
That's just the biggest load of BS that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
The other biggest bit of BS was the spitting incident.
Yeah.
That's been going on.
We'll go into that later. Yeah, we'll go into that later. Yeah. Right. So, Sanskar, what do you think about the comment from Delhi?
Well, I think you have to look into Delhi's mindset. Like last season, he was being linked with PSG, but I'm pretty sure after that season, PSG are not going to be looking into Dele Alli at all. And he knows that at the moment, if he even wants a transfer, he's not going to get it into any club better than Spurs. Like after this season, no one's going to be that interested in him. And that's why he knows that he has to have, if he wants to leave, he has to have to a better club or to one of the top clubs which were interested in him before. He has to have a great season. And that's why he's trying to already show that, oh yeah, I'm working hard. Please, everyone take notice. Yeah.
So what do you think, Jamie?
I think it was a bit of, he does have a plan in his mind. How much of it he's allowed to put on into practice is another matter. But he was keeping his cards very tight to his chest. He was just answering but not answering in his pre-match conference, and trying to sound positive, but not really able to make any committal statements.
Yeah. And so,
go on.
I mean, from what his comments I can make out is that he got the PR team that Levy has anyway. But anyway, I'm just not seeing that in his performance. So I mean, he did this thing last season as well. When in the preseasons he had that really good match against, was it Reading or was it Huddersfield? I remember it was a team in white and blue. I don't remember who it exactly was. He absolutely tore them to shreds, and then Mourinho and Dyer, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Delhi is back!" Blah blah blah. And then in the season, we didn't see any of that. So for me, I'm going to reserve my judgment on him for now. I'll just wait for the season to start. If he does well, it's good for all of us. If he does not do,
the reason why I asked Eugene is these comments, and I'll read it back because there is a reason why I want him out of the club. I've come back in pre-season feeling strong, feeling good, and ready for the season start. For me, what's important is whose opinion is important. I have the people around me, great staff, great teammates, and as long as they think what I'm doing is right. I'm still young. I'm still improving. I've got to make sure this season I come back stronger. Dele Alli from 2019. He said these things in 2019. There you go. That's why I want to quit out the fucking club.
Yeah. Okay. Like Mr. Fat here says that Delhi needs a haircut, a shave, and get off the social media. But I like him as a player. We all do remember what he did for us in the few years ago, that when he was top of his form, right? And what you said just now was a 2019 statement that he made, right? But for me, is right. If you were really wanting to show something, okay, yesterday was your chance. Honestly, yesterday was your chance to show that what you can do. But like you said, everybody's like giving him the leeway that, oh, it's the first match of the preseason. We don't expect much of anything from anybody. But to tell the truth, we do expect the Deadwood to show what they can do. But in yesterday's match, I didn't watch it myself live, but according to a lot of comments, that there wasn't much of a showing yesterday from the senior players that were in the team last season in the match yesterday. If those players showed some desire, some passion, some grit to want to win, the problem, like I've got this feeling that deep down inside is right. We want to win at any cost mentality, whether it's a preseason friendly, whether you're kicking futsal 5 against 5, or whether you're playing a Premier League match or a Champions League final. The passion to win, the desire to win wasn't there. So if you're really good, most probably, if you had whacked 3 or 5-0 in the first half, you could have changed the whole team to the youth.
Yeah, I have to say one thing. It may be indicative of the fact that things haven't really started yet, but I wasn't listening properly to Bob, and I do apologise. I was answering to regards to Nuno's first press conference. I wasn't thinking about and the fact.
I thought your benefit of the doubt was a bit far.
Yeah. But the fact is that the comment fitted both situations so naturally that it shows that things haven't really started changing to a level where we can make any judgment yet.
But Wayne, I agree. I know there's a talent there because we've seen it, and
I
think that's the reason why Spurs are finding it hard. Spurs fans are hard, are umming and ahhing about wanting to let him go because we've seen him at his peak. But how long do we wait? How long do we wait? If every player stayed because of how we've done in the past, no one would ever sell a player. No one would ever sell a player. But he's not shown it, and the fact those comments from 2019 had no relevance to the forthcoming 2 or 3 season. It is effectively 3 years tomorrow to the day he said those comments, 19th of July 2019. He said those, so 2 years. But like I say, it's totally, we can't hold on to players who aren't going to show it. And to me, like I say, I'm not going to change my narrative or opinion just because of yesterday's game, because if my opinion of Dele Alli is what it is, yesterday's game doesn't surprise me. Yesterday game does not surprise me because I'm going to stand by what my opinions of Dele Alli. So don't be surprised. Oh my God, Dele Alli didn't take his chance. Oh my God. Bergwijn I'm going to disagree with because I do believe there's something in there, but that's a personal opinion. But, for the likes of Dele Alli specifically, I'm not surprised he played shit yesterday. Didn't show anything because that's what I expect from him now, and it's going to happen. Great haircut, mate, but bob off.
Shane, what were you trying to say?
I was going to say that we've had Eric Lamela signed in 2013.
Yeah.
Ben Davies signed in 2014. Eric Dyer signed in 2014.
Yeah.
That's 3 players that have been here for 7 or 8 years, and what have they given us?
Exactly.
They should have been. How can you, the saying is 2 Rabonas get you another contract, or Rabona a year get you another contract.
Yeah.
They're stealing a living, all 3 of them. I don't want all 3 of them. Don't get me started on Winks. I think Winks even yesterday had an average game. There was no gamesmanship with Winks. You know, yeah, he played one good ball to Lucas Moura, who passed it into Scarlett, and we scored. But that's it. You know, these players just got to get them out of our club.
100%.
Yeah, that's true. So, what do you think?
I mean, about Dele Alli, nothing much really. I mean, sell him at this point. I've been saying this even before the transfer season started. I mean, like even before we got back for the preseason and stuff. Thing is, there's definitely a player in there. I just don't think that we'll get that player back at Tottenham Hotspur anymore. It's the same thing with Davinson Sanchez. Like there is a player there, but he makes too many mistakes. We are not going to get him back at Spurs. I think it's the same with Delhi as well. I mean, for two different reasons. It's not like Ali makes too many mistakes in a match. It's just Ali is not stamping his authority on the matches like he used to back in 16-17, back in 15-16, like he used to. He is just, I don't know what it is. Is it a confidence issue? Is it a playing style issue? Is it something with himself? I don't know what it is. He needs to get out of Tottenham as much as Tottenham needs to let him go. So I don't think it's going to happen this season. I think he's going to try under the new coach, but I don't think it's going to last very long. If he does very well, then it's best for all of us, but I don't have too much hope after the last two seasons.
Or we offer him out at Christmas in the winter.
Yeah. See,
he's going to cost quite a. Because he is an ex-England international. So I mean, not even ex. I mean, he's still eligible to play for the national team. So he's going to cost a fair bit, like 35, 40-ish. I don't think anyone is gonna I think anyone's gonna pay all that money in the January window. I think next summer is our best.
The worry is, Jamie, the longer he stays, the more he's declining. Because if he continues to perform the way he's been performing for the last couple of seasons, he's not going to play. And you know, we had a chance to sell him last Jan, or probably the transfer window beforehand, which I believe is probably halved in value since then. He literally has halved in value. The shorter the contract, the non-performances is all pointing towards a decline in valuation. And mate, if he's going to go, and if he's going to go in Jan or later on, he's going to go for about the 20 million mark. I honestly believe no one is going to pay more than 20-25 million for a lackluster, non-performing Dele Alli, regardless of his England caps and his special goal against Crystal Palace. No one's going to pay more than 20-25 million, and Levy's not going to sell for that.
Yeah. But the scary part is like now is because of the COVID scenario and all that, right? Everybody is hit by it. Okay, there's no one club not hit by COVID, correct? But the whole market has turned soft, you know. And when the market turns soft, it's just not soft for other clubs. It's soft for our players too. You know what Levy wants, let's say for Ben Davies, is like 15-20 million pounds, correct? But he's not going to get it now. Most probably he'll get is 5 to 10. And you know, Levy, if he doesn't get his price, he won't let them go. So the long vision now I see, right? We're going to get stuck with these players, right? Until January, the next January transfer window opens. That's when we will really see whether they'll be pushed out, right? Whether Nuno wants them or not. But because the deal that Nuno came in with, right, is most probably that he has to revive the deadwood. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Right?
Hence my opinion, Levy's a shit businessman.
Into charcoal.
Overrated. He is. He's a shit businessman, in my opinion.
The only way you can revive Deadwood is to make into charcoal. So is he going to have a fire sale?
That's it, yeah. He's going to have to bite the bullet and literally sell him because you've got to remember, by selling, they're on big salaries as well. So there's going to be clubs who aren't going to pay that 80,000 a week to Sissoko or a Winks. They aren't going to pay him that a week. So we're going to have a Danny Rose situation where they're quite happy to sit down with the youngsters for the last 1.5 years of the contract and cost us money. And that comes down to Levy. You know, the whole, he's crap at football, but he's a good businessman. Crap. In my opinion, that's a load of bullshit. It's just as bad a businessman as he is at his football side. But that's not good.
I don't know. Somebody like a Ruben Kazan or an FC Basel might be a good move for him.
MLS,
Something more to the pace that he plays at.
Yeah. But the thing is that if you have a player like this, and to tell the truth, we don't only have Dele Alli, right? You can go through the whole list of 8 or 9 players that we want to get rid of, correct? And like you said, Shane was saying, we already have like 4 or 5 players in the squad, right? Which has really overstayed their welcome. They really had 5 to 8 years with the club with any results coming out. But the thing is now is that we can't get rid of them unless we get the price Levy wants. And the price that Levy wants is always 10 million more than what is outside in the market, which is we know we can't reach it. And if we do get new players in, are we going to cold storage all the old players? That is another question. And I don't think Levy will go into that kind of scenario, right? And do another Danny Rose again. And if he does another Danny Rose, how many Danny Roses are we going to have? Aurier, Delhi, Winks, Dyer?
Yeah.
That won't happen. Seriously, right? And we
I
know how he
I
thinks.
love the green screen, by the way, Eugene.
Yeah, thank you for the picture. This thumb was done by Bob. Yeah, and I'm sharing it now with his permission.
Just pay me by the hour, mate. You're fine.
Well, money's left on the fridge.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
I'll send you some papadums. Yeah.
That sounds like a Levy deal. That does.
Yeah. That's what Levy deal is.
Papadums and Dyer.
Yeah, that's the thing. But let's come back to more serious note of what do you think, right, at the moment, if you were in Nuno's position and you have been given these parameters to work around, do you think Nuno, like that's why I said a lot of people were not happy with his first press conference, correct? But we have to give some understanding that when he jumped into this deal, there were I'm sure there's certain conditions that he had to take to be the manager of Spurs. What do you think, guys? Let's go with Jamie first.
Okay, well, I'll refer you to my previous statement. He's just okay. Seems I have to refresh my camera. Okay.
Yeah.
He's at the moment he's just giving positive sound bites, because he's not in a position to really show what imprint he's made on the club or will make on the club, and there's too many things that he can't say with certainty. So we're expecting him to promise the world when he doesn't even know what's going to happen in the world in the next couple of weeks. So he's just putting a brave face on what is still a very messy situation.
Yeah. So, Ansgar?
Well, like before he had his press conference, I read an article by Ali Gold, and he said that like Nuno's press conferences aren't going to be that engaging. Like even in his Wolves days, apparently, like he didn't like to talk that much about the inside. He didn't like to give that much information. He preferred to just give like neutral answers and be a bit withheld. So like, I don't think like it's fair to judge him from what he said, because obviously we know that Levy is looking straight, that you better not be saying something you're not supposed to. And obviously he can't express his most honest, candid opinions. So like, yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. Like until the season properly gets going, I don't want to judge him by what he's saying. And like, let's see how it goes, because maybe he'll express himself on the football side of things, and say if he's not allowed to do so in the press conferences due to any pressure.
I think the better the form Spurs show in the first part of the season, the more brave Nuno will get with his comments. If it's just continuation of last season, he'll just be paying lip service to the board.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more guest to bring in. Just hold on for a while. Hi, Simon. Can you hear me, Simon?
Sorry for being late.
No problem. Okay, just to introduce her, I'm sure you met Jamie, Simon, right? In one of the shows earlier. Onto his, then it's Sanska, then there's Soham, then there's Bobby from Bobspur TV, and there's Shane Black, he's from Australia. Sanskar and Soham is from India, and Simon is actually my old schoolmate, and he's a Spurs fan too. And
sorry, mate. That's double sorry.
and he's from Malaysia. Yeah, he's from Malaysia. Yeah. So we were talking about just to update get Simon updated on what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the preseason match that happened yesterday, right? And of course about the players in and the players out, and of course about Delhi Ali and what's been happening and all that. So just get your point of view over for the. Did you watch the preseason match yesterday?
Can you go to the door?
Simon?
No, I was just watching the highlights.
Oh, just watch the highlights. So have you got any comments on it? Yeah. Any comments on the preseason?
No. I'm just wondering why, seems to be Harry Kane seems to be one of the factors of the charity that
Simon, can't hear you clearly and you are glitching. He's out. Get him back later again. Okay, Bob, where were we just now? We were up to Shane. We were talking about the Levy and the Nuno scenario kind of thing. Yeah.
I thought the first press conference was very vanilla. If I had a playback you a press conference Ryan Mason did last year and Nuno's first press conference, the overlaps would be so similar, wouldn't be funny. It's just, it reeks of levy. I don't know how much more to say. It just reeks of levy. Telling him in his ear, it's like a little devil on his shoulder saying, hey, you must say this. I mean, at the moment, we don't have a press officer. Our press officer left.
Yeah.
5 years or 6 years of a job, and that was long enough for him. And we got players here that have been in the club longer.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah.
But I'll let you get back to Simon.
Let me get back to Simon for a while. Simon, can you hear me, Simon?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you.
Yeah. So we were just saying, what are your feelings on the preseason match?
Really nothing much. It's just that there are a lot of players which are not. So it's really nothing much you can say. I guess you just wanted to try out some new players. But it'll be interesting to see why. If I'm mistaken, this is something very special to Harry Kane, isn't it? I think it's one of those charities which he founded.
Oh, you're talking about the Leyton Orient. Yeah, Harry Kane is one of the I think Jersey. He supports he supports Leyton Orient in a certain way. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and and what do you think about the players that are supposed to be coming in or going out and all that?
Too early to say still. I mean, half the players that look like they're on their way out, then suddenly the deals weren't going through. And that was the same last week. So basically we're going to have to take it day by day throughout this coming week, just ahead of the Olympics, and see if anything can go under the wire before the Olympics starts. Otherwise, there's going to be another gap in trade.
And then we come back to, let's go to Soham. We're just talking about the Nuno's press conference. Soham, up.
I think Shane summed it up perfectly. It was so similar to Ryan Mason's first press conference. I mean, that was like ready-made PR stuff. So I'm not. Yeah, that's it. It was like generic statement after generic statement after generic statement. Nothing to.
That's every manager's press conference, mate. Yeah. You show me any manager's press conference that doesn't have the same kind of line going through its press conference. They're all, vague with certain answers. every single manager, I guarantee you, will have the same form of directional answers
Right.
every single press conference. Now, with regards to his press conference, I'm not going to take anything away from it because it's his first press conference. With regards to everyone jumping on the whole, and Cody, you're in the chat, I'm calling you out, mate. Everyone jumping onto the whole, he said it's hard to improve a squad. Well, that's fair enough, but don't latch onto that, because if you're going to latch onto that, latch onto the fact that he said he's going to want to make the Spurs fans proud. He wants to play with attacking intent. He's working every single day with Steve and Fabio to bring in quality players. He wants to take the club forward. He wants to make Doherty a better player. He doesn't question Kane's commitment to the club. You know, you can't pick and choose. You can't pick out two sentences out of a 20-minute press conference, latch onto that just because it suits your agenda or opinion. Totally disagree with that. But like I say, Ryan Mason last season, biggest issue with Ryan Mason last season was the fact when he was asked a question like, how do you think today's game went? And his answer was, well, I think Daniel Reeve is a great manager. In not so many words, he was blatantly coming out and backing the board. Whereas Nuno, he's done what is the best thing. If he'd come out and said, I think the players are pretty shit, we need a bit of an overhaul, everyone would have latched onto him. And another thing, I don't give a shit what he says in the press conference. It's what he does on the pitch matters to me. He can spend the rest of the season saying Daniel Levy is the best thing since sliced bread if we're top of the league or in that top four, winning games with style. And I honestly mean that, because I won't bother watching the press conferences as that's the case. What he does on the pitch matters to me. And I reserve judgment.
Yeah. And hold on for a while, guys. I got one more guest coming on. Hi, Tommy.
Yes, how are you doing, chat?
Good, mate. Yeah. Welcome, Tommy. Welcome. First time on my stream. Thank you for your presence. And just to introduce you to the round of the panels, I'm sure you know Bobby. I'm sure you know Shane, right? And of course, you know Jamie. You met Jamie, and we got Shamska from Kolkata Spurs. And then we have Sohan from Bangalore Spurs, and Simon is a Spurs friend from Malaysia, who is actually my classmate in secondary school last time.
Oh, really?
And
privileged to be an absolute privilege.
Yeah. And hold on, I've got one more guest jumping on. Welcome, Kieran. I think Simon has jumped off. Yeah. Hi, Kieran.
Star-studded panel we have this morning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he jumped off. His signal was choppy.
Yeah, his signal's not choppy. Yeah, it's okay. If he comes back on, I'll bring him back on. Yeah, he's coming back on again. Let me check. Okay, Simon, he's on his way. I think we're gonna have a full page tonight. Yeah, he's back. All right. Okay, Kieran, you've met most of the guys, right? Except for Simon. Yeah, Simon is from Malaysia too, and he's my old schoolmate. He's a Spurs fan.
Oh, nice.
Double whammy. Okay, where were we just now? We're up to about Nuno's press conference. What do you think, Simon? Did you see it?
No, I haven't watched it. Since
you haven't watched it.
You guys start talking about it so much. That's the first thing I'm going to watch afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. And he's jumped off again. Okay. And let's go to Tommy. We were talking about Nuno's press conference, but of course before that we were talking about the preseason match, and of course about the players in and out and all that. So let's give us your whole take on it.
Well, I think my take's the same on both matters, the press conference and the game. I think people looked into both a little bit too much, given it was, his first press conference, Nuno's first press conference, and our first game. So, yeah, I think people look into it a little bit too much. As I said, yes, Bob Street. There's not much time. We really don't have much time to the new season begins. So if players are not performing at this stage, Son comes back in. Maybe Wednesday against Colchester or next week at the latest. Son comes back in. So how many chances will Bergwijn get on the left wing? And if he didn't perform like he did today, then there's problems. But if we're going to overanalyze on the game in particular, I think there are people that are overanalyzing it for sure. So we can't look too much into it. And Nuno, in terms of the press conference, he said what any manager says at the start of his managerial tenure. I mean, everybody's going to come up with a generic phrases and answers to the questions given from the media. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised what Nuno said, and I like his charisma. I like what Nuno's doing. I was unsure at first, but I like he really has got good. He's got good charisma about him, and I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling hopeful going into the new season now.
Yeah. And what do you think, Kieran?
So the press conference is, it's kind of what you expect to see. Like Bob said, you take 100 different managers and you're going to get the same answer, maybe with different wording. But, I think a lot of people are jumping onto it a little bit too much. Of course he's going to come in and say, it's the same thing with Jose. Like, of course he's going to come in and say, he likes the squad, he likes the players. And not only is that because, he just got a job, which is a move up for him into a bigger club, but also because, and of course he doesn't want to alienate any specific players, but also because we are currently in the market doing business. And the way Paratici likes to do things is, have it as many targets as possible, negotiate deals all the way up to the line, and then make a decision from there. And, by calling out certain players or highlighting specific positions of need in a press conference, he's basically signaling to all the clubs we may be doing business with, this is what we need. Like, we can't go into the season without these specific players or players at these specific positions, which increases those clubs' bargaining leverage when we go in to make deals. So I think people are jumping onto it a little too much. I think we need to just give them some time, see what happens in the transfer market, and not seize on anything. Yeah, I mean, I understand how people feel, because when I heard him say that, it's a fresh, clean slate for all the players and everything, that got me twitching a little bit as well, because I certainly want to see some of these players out, but again, I just don't think we should overreact.
And what about the preseason match? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did, and boy, I gotta tell you guys, I was in the trenches on Twitter. I was getting shot at from all angles, because I had the gall to criticize Eric Dyer and Harry Winks for their performances yesterday, and Dele Alli too. Look, I understand what preseason is. I understand the match was mostly about fitness. I understand that they're probably at like 30 to 50%. But the thing is, that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter when you're playing. When these players have played in the Champions League and they're up against fourth tier opposition, a League 2 side. Even if you're going 50%, there are moments. We should have moments where your quality shows above the quality of these players, where your level of skill should be apparent relative to the players you're playing against. Eric Dyer yesterday, once again, let a ball roll across him right in front of goal. A mistake we've seen him make how many times? How many times has it led to a goal? And a couple times it's led to a penalty with him trying to recover from it. And he was completely shown up by Cameron Carter-Vickers, a player who has been in the squad and unable to break into the first team for years, a guy who spent last season on loan in the Championship. Yesterday, Cameron Carter-Vickers looked like the player who started for Spurs last season, and Eric Dyer looked like the Championship player. And then Harry Winks being totally outshined by a 17, 18-year-old Niall John, which great for him. But he just the same old stuff. A lack of willingness to drive forward with the ball, a lack of willingness to collect the ball on the half turn, too ready to pass the ball side to side and backwards. I honestly had a good time with the game. I enjoyed watching it because I loved watching our young players. I thought they were all brilliant. They worked really hard. John, Cisse, and Scarlett in particular were really fantastic. And, it's not that I'm ready to, it's not that I'm digging into these players so much based on that performance. The idea is just that they've had more than enough chances. And just, honestly, to me, at this point, having to continue to watch them put on a Spurs shirt and step onto the pitch with that badge on their chest, it's an insult to the entire fan base. They should have been moved on years ago. Especially Eric Dyer, who got a 3-year contract extension last year that he didn't earn. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, all I want to say, mate, there's nothing wrong with criticising Kieran. That's spot on. I ended the stream We Are Tottenham TV saying Bergwijn, Ali, Dyer had poor games. There's absolutely nothing wrong with calling out poor performances yesterday. But I wouldn't change my narrative because of yesterday's game. It just,
of course not.
confirms your opinion. If anything, it's a I rest my case moment. I'm not surprised Ali played shit because that's what I expect from him. Dyer's the same likewise, and Winks likewise. So what the issue I had the issue with, I'm not pointing the finger at Kieran, but a lot of people saying, "See, look at their performances. I told you they were shit." No, that's what you expect. They were shit before then. They just carried on. They're just carrying on to what we thought they were, what we expected. So I'm not going to change my narrative or change my opinion just because of yesterday's game.
Absolutely.
Just like Bergwijn, I think deserves another chance. I'm not going to change that because
I agree.
Yesterday's game. But with likes to Dyer, Ali, and everyone else, it's as you were, mate.
As you were. Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else has anything
But-
to add on?
but-
I just wanted to debate this.
Okay,
Go on, Shane.
I was going to say, I totally agree with both of you. Those three in particular, well, Daly, Dyer, Winks, all should have performed a hell of a lot better. We all know that, but how have we still got CCV in our squad? We gave him an extension on his contract to get more money out of him, and he still can't break into our first team. He's never going to break into our first team, so why offer him an extra year's contract?
No, he's been offered that.
No, last year he was offered a 2-year deal, a 2-year extension.
Yeah.
Why?
Probably to hope that his lower ball went well, and then we could perhaps get more money out of them.
Yeah, that's
Mate,
it.
that's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, that's called the Levy style, yeah.
But Chelsea done that a lot. Chelsea done that a lot with their centre backs, even when they were getting old. They've done it with Michael Hector. He was like 24, 25, and signed him for £5-10 million. He was never going to play for Chelsea. He was never going to play for Chelsea. They kept loaning him out. Then he had one good loan spell. They got a good loan fee. He was there for about 7 years. Never played for Chelsea. So teams do that. We've seen Man City. Man City have made 50, 60 million pounds this summer already on players that will never play for Man City. So there is something there for that side of things. But I agree, Carter Vickers. I watched extended highlights and Kieran, you said Carter Vickers played well. So I don't know. Did he have? Do you think he had a good game overall yesterday, boys? I mean,
he looked a nervous wreck. He looked a nervous wreck in my eyes.
I don't know. I saw him.
Well.
I thought he was decent. I mean, I think anything that came down his side, he went for it. He attacked. He went into the duels with confidence. I mean, yeah. I mean, there were mistakes because he certainly has a lack of quality. He is closer to the level of those players from Leyton Orient than Eric Dyer is. But to make a mistake as rookie as letting the ball roll across you when you're standing in front of the goal, I mean, you would. I mean, if you're a coach of an under-8s team, you would yell at your kids for doing that. It's just basic football, and this guy is a seasoned professional, and he's doing shit like that. It's ridiculous. It's insulting to the club to have somebody who does that. I don't know if it's a lack of care or if he's really just that brain dead. But I mean, Carter Vickers, for the mistakes he made, I think it was just related to his quality. As with Eric Dyer, it's just like, I don't know. It's like the guy has a stroke in the middle of the game sometimes, and he just.
Cheers for that, Kieran.
Easy, Ericsson and Bobby.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking, mate. I'm joking.
Oh, man. But I don't know. I don't think Carter Vickers was great, but I think that relative to the quality we expect from him, his performance was more in line with what you want to see from a player like him versus Eric Dyer, who is well below the level he should be at.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, mate. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying, reading Cody's message, right? Personally, some of these players will do more harm than good by not being sold, right? In case of addition via subtraction, okay? I don't even care if we buy replacements. Bring in the youth.
I
so
agree.
what do you think about this message from Cody, guys? Anybody?
We definitely need to get rid of some of the players who seem to affect at least the dressing room atmosphere. I mean, likes of Aurier. I mean, I still believe that in terms of like playing ability, Aurier is a better right back than Matt Doherty, but I do not want Aurier anymore in the squad. He needs to go, because once a player has decided they need to leave, unless there's someone like Harry Kane who can win you like 30 points on his own throughout the season, get them out. Harry Kane is a different kettle of fish altogether, and I think we can talk about that later on. I mean, someone like Musa Sissoko, get them out. And it's not like we do. And when it comes to bringing up the youth, I think Niall John would actually be a decent replacement for Musa Sissoko, doing the box-to-box sort of box-to-box sort of role. I think he'd actually be decent there. In terms of other players to be moved on, I mean, we all know the names by now. Your Lamela, your Winks, and all. I don't think Winks and Ali are moving out this season because we have issues with our homegrown list of players anyway. And I don't think we will be able to buy any English players with the kind of money that we have and with the homegrown premium that there is on English players. So I think Winks and Ali will be lucky that they'll get to stay just because of that factor. But I mean, a lot of our foreign players could be moved this summer, or rather, they should be moved this summer, just for the sake of the dressing room atmosphere only, if nothing else.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, right. All right.
Yes.
Okay, I give.
Great
Let's
points, by
give.
the way, Sam. I agree completely.
And Sanskar, have you got anything to add to this?
No, everyone's covered it. It's the same feeling with everyone. We can't find a Spurs fan who's going to be feeling differently about these players. It's the same thing with everyone.
You'd be surprised.
No, Sanskar, you got to rephrase that. You can't find a Spurs fan here. That doesn't agree with us, right? But you'll be surprised, like what Kieran says, there are a lot of them out there. If you go into the Twitterverse, that's why Soham doesn't get himself involved with Twitter. So if you do go in the Twitterverse, it's a hell of a mess. Okay, I have one question to you guys. All right, go ahead, Soham. What do you want to say?
Are there really people who actively still root for Musa Sissoko as well? I want to meet these people. Do people like this still exist?
Sissoko might be the one who probably has the least backers.
If you seek, you will find. So trust me, man.
Yeah. You seek, you will find. That's true.
He's gone from midfield mainstay. He's just become a journeyman.
Yeah. But this is a weird thing, right? You know, certain fans get attached to certain players and they can't let go. So it's quite a weird but sad thing. But to deep down inside now, my question to give you guys right? If Levy wins us the Premier League next year, do you still want him out?
If he does that, it'll make the world press because it will be.
Look at all the guys. All guys are breaking up in laughter like crazy. Levy wins us the Premier League. Are you dreaming?
Chris Callan on his way to the friendly yesterday, on his way to the Leyton Orient Stadium, He stopped in a William Hill bet shop, and he asked what the odds were on Spurs to win the Premier League, and the guy laughed at him.
Yeah.
And then he looked it up, and it was 400 to 1. 400 to 1.
Seriously, 400 to 1.
Yeah,
Worth a
400
price,
to 1 to
I
win
think
the
it's
league.
40, wasn't it? Was it?
Huh?
I think it's 40 to 1, wasn't it? Or 400?
He said 400,
Oh,
but I
who's
mean
this?
maybe
400, a fiver would be worth a pound.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's this? 400 to 1. What is 400 to 1?
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe he misspoke and it was 40, but I'm pretty certain that Chris Callan, when I was watching the video, he
What,
stopped
is this
into
for
a
Spurs to
William
win the
Hill.
league? Spurs to win the
Yeah,
league?
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
Tommy.
400 to
No,
1.
Tommy. I asked the question. If Levy wins us the Premier League next year, do you still want him out? And the whole panel started to crackle and laugh and cry.
No, of course not. If he wins us a Premier League, it means he's done the right recruitment, he's brought the right players in, he's brought the right manager in, and he's got us a trophy. He's invested in the club. The only way we're going to win the Premier League if it's done everything right, investing money, getting the right manager, but he has to back the manager. It wouldn't be Levy out next year, but he needs 3 seasons of consistency. You know, anyone can do a Leicester, but then it's a case of how do you go ahead and back him. So for me, yeah, it's going to be a case of not Levy out. Let's see what Levy does now. But it's not going to be just one season and forget all about the 20 years of hurt.
Exactly.
No, none of that. He wins a trophy and he carries it on. He carries on backing and he carries on investing. Because that's what he would have done if we won it this season. So, no, one season ain't going to change it all.
it's not for me. It wouldn't be a clean slate, but I definitely lay off Levy.
No,
for
it's
a
just
while.
a simple question. Just hold on, guys. I need to bring in one more guest. Just hold on. Hi, Swayam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Swayam?
you. What's up, everyone?
Okay.
Hey, Swayam.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just to introduce you to the new faces, Popspur TV, Bobby, Tommy. Tommy. I don't want to say the rest. Tommy's from Tommy Talks Ball.
Oh, yes,
And
yes. You
Ball.
didn't say plural. Massive.
No,
You didn't say plural. Massive.
Come on, Tommy. And of course, Kieran is from Spurs Sing.
Your voice is cutting off,
And
Eugene.
Yeah, you're really.
Usually your voice is causing
it's cutting off. I think my mic has got
cutting,
some
it's cutting.
issues. Yeah.
All right, now it's all right.
Yeah.
I'm just
So,
going to say thank you. The last time I was surrounded by so many fellow Indians, Asians was in a temple. So I feel at home now. So thanks for that. I feel at home now.
Yeah.
feel
Bobby,
like-
you're on Spurs Asian TV. What do you think?
Yes, mate. That's it. It's coming in more often.
Yeah, you should come here more often. Yeah.
Definitely,
And okay, just let to catch Swayam up on things. We've been talking about the preseason match. We've been talking about the players in, players out. We've been talking about Nuno's press conference. And I put out one question out there, right? If Levy wins us the Premier League next year, do you still want him out?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Swayam. Take it.
Oh, sorry, what's the question?
First is we're talking about the preseason. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah.
No. The question will confuse you because it's so out there. So just listen to it carefully. He is actually asking this particular question.
A genuine question.
Okay. All right. It goes again, right? We've been talking about the preseason matches, and then we've been talking about the players, whether who's coming in and who should be going out. And then, of course, we've been talking about Nuno's press conference. Have you heard that? Did you watch Nuno's press conference? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last most important question was, if Levy wins us the Premier League next year, do you still want him out? Start from the preseason matches.
Tricky, man. It is a tricky question. Like,
Lost for words.
Yeah. Start from the preseason. Did you watch the preseason match? So yeah.
With the preseason match that I saw, practically there's no chance of us winning the Premier League anytime soon. But even if we win, if we win somehow by signing 3 or 4 players, maybe I can just turn what I think about Levy, but I don't think it's going to happen. So it's a very awkward scenario.
What about the Nuno's press conference? What do you think about Nuno's? Yeah. What do you think?
Nuno's press conference. Yeah, that he said that we have many good players and it's very hard to replace them, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. We have many good players.
What I saw,
it's very hard to improve on the squad. That's what he exactly said. It's very hard.
It's very hard to improve on the squad. Yeah. What I saw from Twitter last day, maybe they are giving the same script to Pochettino and then Jose and now Nuno. Who knows?
Okay. All right.
It's the Daniel Levy show.
Daniel Levy show. Okay.
As usual.
And okay. Shall I go around and ask the question again? If Levy wins us the Premier League next year, would you still want Levy out?
Well, if that could happen, and as long as by that time we've managed to take his sticky mitts off the football side of things, and he's somehow turned into a decent businessman, then maybe. But it's like so many factors that have got to come together. If it happened, I could only make my decision then. Right now, too much bad blood.
Okay, Sanskar.
Well, it's simple, really. Like, if he does deliver us the Premier League, then if anyone delivers us the Premier League, they deserve to stay for a minimum of 1 more season and at least show if they can do it, at least replicate some success the next season. Because come on, like, it's the Premier League. Like, right now we have zero hopes of it. And like, we're not like some club like Man City who's just we are title contenders. We're not title contenders. That's the brutality of it. And if he does deliver us the Premier Leagues by somehow with the right investments, then yeah, sure, 1 more year, you deserve it. Like, for just that, you deserve it.
Shane?
But would I be fully convinced that he's changed? No. I wouldn't give him the benefit out. Oh yeah, Levy's the best. No, that's not happening.
What about Shane?
I don't think we'll win the Premier League anytime soon. You know, it's taken 13 years, or well, it'll be 14 years this year since we've won a cup. So hopefully we can win a cup this year. I don't know about the league. I'd like to see us win the FA Cup or even the Carabao Cup, if that's still what it's called. You know, the league's a bit far off, but a cup might be in for a shout. As I've given Levy the benefit of the doubt, I don't know. He's done so much wrong. I simply just want him out.
Okay, Shay. And Bobby, we had your answer earlier, right? Do you have anything to add to it?
He's won the Premier League. Well done. He deserves a tap on the back because it means he's done the right thing this season. But fuck that. He ain't going to get a well done from me just because of one Premier League, mate. No. He's got to carry that on and needs to do it for the next 3 seasons. Needs to back the manager and back the club and do things right.
Soham, what do you think?
I mean, the thing is, the premise of the question itself is so absolutely how do I put it? It's so absolutely absurd. I mean, I'm so sure of it not happening that I'll put a bet on right now. If Tottenham win the Premier League next season, I'll shave my mustache off. That's how confident I am about that not happening. It's not happening. Exactly.
You
shave, Jamie.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's premonition.
Yes.
Premonition.
And what do you think, Kieran?
Mustache.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't
He'll have
be
a haircut. He'll have a haircut. He'll shave his head when he leaves.
Body wax.
The
whole thing.
Maybe not.
Whole thing.
I don't have a lot of hair on top, so I'd rather keep what I have. But yeah, the mustache can go. Mustache can go.
Think about it. Think about it. At the moment, it's a pretty safe bet that you're not going to have to do that.
Yeah.
That's true.
So what do you think, Kiran? You still haven't said your answer yet, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't be a clean slate. I'm with Bob. I mean, if we did win, if he, let go of the purse strings a little bit and let Paratici bring in some world-class players and somehow we won the league. Again, it's just so outlandish. It's hard to even entertain the question, but I just, I mean, I think I'd lay off of him for a little bit, but we'd have to see if it continues, if there's a commitment to continued success. And honestly, I don't know. I think if we did win the league, I don't think Levy could really have much credit other than allowing us to spend money, because I mean, we came really close. Let's not forget, a couple of years ago, we came really, really close to winning the league, the closest we've come in 60 years. And
the thing is, it's not a couple of years anymore. It's been 4 years since that.
Yeah, true.
Time flies.
Yeah. But how much if
Same
we had
players.
won the league? Yeah, a lot of the same players still here.
Yeah.
If we had won the league that season, how much credit would Levy deserve for that? I don't know how much he'd deserve at all, because a lot of those players either came up from the academy or came on the cheap, and Pochettino made them and that team into what they were. And sure, you can say, oh, Levy hired Pochettino, but he had no idea Pochettino would ever achieve the things he did. Like Pochettino himself said, he was ahead of schedule. He was years ahead of schedule. We weren't supposed to even be in the Champions League until after the stadium was built. So, I just, again, it would be great, and I'd probably lay off, being so hardlining account for at least a year afterwards. But in the back of my head, I'd be like, I still hate this guy and want him out of my club because of what he's done to all of us for the last 20 years. So,
What do you think, Tommy?
Well, I've had a lot of time to think. I've gone around to quite a few people before me. And what I'd like to say is I'd like to put this question. I'll answer it, but I'd like to put this question forward. Is there more chance of us winning the league or of us finishing in the bottom three and getting relegated? What do you think? I mean, I think there's more chance of us getting relegated than winning the Premier Division. I honestly do. I think there's more chance of us getting relegated.
You mean next season?
Every 1 minute.
Yeah. Any season that we have, in the next few years that we have a chance. If you say, what happens? Would you give Levy a clean slate if we were to win the Premier League? I mean, I think there's more chance of us getting relegated, to be perfectly honest. It's slim to both things. The chances are slim to nothing. There's a saying that goes, crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened. I don't think many crazy things have happened more, crazier than us winning the league. I know Leicester nearly done it in 15-16. I know Leicester nearly achieved it in 15-16. I did achieve it in 15-16, but it was a very different period. A lot of clubs were going through transition. Klopp only just arrived. Man United were horrible. I don't think Pep was even at City in 15-16. Chelsea were doing what Chelsea do. They have one great season, one bad season, one great season. That was one of their bad seasons. So that was very different. That was a very different situation to where we are in the league now with Man City so strong. Man United are going to sign Varane. They've already got Sancho. If they get a centre midfielder next to Pogba, defensive, they're going to be serious. I think Man United have a big chance next couple of years.
Man United are still frauds.
So it's a very, very
Man, you are frauds as long as Ole is the manager.
Do you think? Do you know what? A lot of Man United fans are coming around to it. I do a lot of streams, neutral streams with a lot of Man United fans. They're coming around to it. I never thought they would, but they're coming around to Ole. They finished as runners-up last season. So it'd be a hell of a lot trickier to win it next season as it would when Leicester City won in 15-16. That's for sure. So yeah, it'd be mad. But 400 to 1. Kieran, if it's 400 to 1, I'm going on there now. Because anyone winning the league with 400 to 1 is worth it. But I think Leicester were 2,000 to 1. I think Leicester were 2,000 to 1, and there's old school Leicester fans. They always put a tenner on. Like old school fans, it doesn't matter what club it is, they always put money on. So I think a few fans won like 20 grand.
Yeah, I think it was 2,500 to 1. It was more than that. It was 2,500 to 1.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
that
What,
was
Leicester?
2,500 to 1.
Leicester?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leicester, yeah. Leicester was 2,500 to 1.
A
Yeah.
lot of people got
And
rich.
okay,
A lot of people got rich.
yeah. Jamie, what do you think? You were wanting to say something just now.
No, it went off into the ether when we started talking about the odds of relegation and whatnot. I don't think we'd be relegated, but I wouldn't be surprised if the season just replicates from last year with a few less dramatics. And until we see who we're getting in, we're just going to be, as is often coined by Mr. K, an echo chamber.
You're right. Yeah, okay, I'll give you my answer, okay? My answer is that if we win the Premier League next season, right, it'll be just dumb luck, all right? Nothing else. Dumb luck, and it's still Levy out no matter what, because I'm not going to take the torture anymore. That's all. Levy out, whether we win the Champions League, whether whatever cup we win, Premier League, Levy still has to go out. 20 years record of not giving us anything. He still has to go out. That's it. That's my view.
You know, like fun fact.
And then Swayam, have you thought of your answer yet, Swayam? Swayam?
Yeah.
Have you thought of your answer yet about the Levy winning the Premier League and all that? Would you still want him out?
I would want him out, but maybe I can give him a chance after that season, because let's see what he does after winning the Premier League. You know, it's very crucial. The next season becomes very crucial for our team when they win the Premier League. So depends upon how he handles the club. If again we fail to get the top 4 and then again go trophyless, I don't think there should be any reason to keep him in the club. I don't know. Doesn't even feel ashamed when he goes to the party of the chairmen and they say, you are the Tottenham chairman. Right? You didn't even won. You just won one trophy in since taking over the club and ENIC. I don't know. I would definitely want him out.
Yeah.
Can I just add?
Okay.
Can I just add that if Spurs ever win the league, I'll die a happy man. That's what I want in my lifetime. If Spurs just win the league once, I'll die a happy man. And if you put England win the World Cup as well on top of that, it'd be those two things. I would die happy. So I wouldn't really care if Levy was there or not. To be perfectly honest, I just, if that happens in my lifetime, I'm just delighted. That's all I want to see. I don't care about FA Cup, obviously. A big competition, especially for us. That's where a lot of our reputation comes from, domestic trophies. Champions League, I couldn't care less about Champions. When you put Champions League next to the Premier League, it's always the Premier League. 38-game marathon, Champions League. You can win 2 games in normal time and win the Champions League, because you can go for away goals the rest of the competition. You can win 2 games and win the Champions League in normal time.
Tommy,
the league is a 38-game marathon. If we win that, then I'll die a happy man. He can do what he wants. I don't care.
But Tommy, do you also say the Premier League takes priority because we've won a European Cup? Do you think that's part of? No.
What I just said. 38-game marathon in the best league in the world, with the Chelseas, with the Liverpools. You just saw in the Champions League just gone. 3 British teams were in the semi-final because the Premier League is the strongest. It is without a doubt the strongest.
Oh yeah.
So to win the 38-game marathon that starts in August. End of May, whatever. That's the be all and end all. If that ever happens with Spurs, I'll be celebrating until God knows. I'll be paralytic for a month straight. I'll be paralytic for a month straight. Won the Premier League.
By the way, I did just check the odds. So either I misheard or he misspoke. But yeah, I am seeing 40 to 1 odds,
40 to 1,
which honestly seems short. It seems short in my opinion.
It'll be 80. It'll be 80 when the transfer window closes. It'll be 80 when the transfer window closes because we'll have one player.
Kieran, do you know why it seems short or not? Because betting systems are like this. If more people put bets on the team winning, right, the odds will drop. So I guess there are a lot of Spurs fans out there, right, still putting bets on Spurs to win the league. That's what they call. Yeah. So that's why the odds are still low. Is it?
Yeah, I guess it's worth every season to at least throw a 5 or a 10er on it, right? I mean, what cost of a lunch or a cup of coffee? And,
my cousin, my cousin is a big Spurs supporter. He always put Spurs to lose. He always puts a tenner on the opposition to win. Reason is if Spurs lose, his quid's in, and if they win, he's happy. So there's a win-win situation. He always puts a tenner on the opposition.
Bobby, he's got the perfect plan.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. That seems a little ethically to bet against your team like that.
Even Daniel Levy wouldn't make bets like that. If he wouldn't do stuff like that.
He'd bet a packet of crisps or something.
No, because, of course not. Because Daniel Levy thought we still had a chance to make top 4 last season, which is why he fired Jose for not playing his strongest players in the league.
I mean, thing is, mathematically, we did. If we won the matches against Leeds and Aston Villa, we would have actually made top 4, as surprising as it is. But anyway. But okay, so I wanted to ask one thing. So extending from what Tommy was saying, like comparing the league and the cup competitions, what do you guys think about our chances of winning the Conference League next season? Or a better question is, which unknown team do you think will kick us out of it finally in the quarterfinals?
Depends who's managers in prison.
No, Inter your mum.
It depends who we face to get into the competition. We've still got to qualify. We've got a 2-leg qualification leg to get into the Conference League.
Yeah, true.
I think we'll concede 1 goal like last time and then trail the entire game 1-0, and then we'll get lucky because the opponent has like 1 or 2 players sent off, and they will like somehow scrape through in the final minutes, like we did last season in the Europa qualifiers. But I mean, people have already spoken about this in the social media. Like when we go up against Roma and our ex-manager Jose Mourinho, and he will shit out a 1-0 win against us. I will probably die inside if that happens.
You'll die inside if that happens. Can you imagine if we lose to Inter your mum? Can you imagine the banter on social media?
There's a club called Into Your Mum.
We will all have to go off the internet for weeks. We're all going to have to crawl into a cave.
Oh, yeah, I just forgot to tell Soham. Yeah, there is a club called Inter Your Mum in the Conference League with us. So when they announced that list that came out, we had a field day with it, didn't we? Oh, seriously.
I mean,
so we could be playing Into Your Mum home and away.
Oh my gosh! I just hope they get knocked out before they ever even get close to us, because I like even if
knocked out.
The phrase being knocked out by Into Your Mum just
then he will say Levy gets Spurs knocked up by Into Your Mum. But Kieran, don't forget, right? We are Spurs. It will happen.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna have to crawl into a cave for like a week if that happens.
I mean, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are like a literal manifestation of Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong with us.
True. Yeah, that's the scary part, being a Tottenham. But sometimes you love Tottenham Hotspur because of that.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen.
As for the Conference League, I agree with Shane. We've still got the qualifiers, but fortunately for us, there's no easy game for us. Of course, we're Spurs, but it does look like on paper there will be the easier games, and there's no reason why. And I've said this right from the off. Let's blood some of the youngsters. It's going to be the most competitive game they're going to play in. So the likes of John, Scarlett, Harvey White, and Lavinia, and just put them in. Just put them in alongside some experienced players. Get that win in, and then be totally hypocritical by the time we get to the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. Put all the big players in, because, like it or not, I want to win it. I want to be the first team.
Of course you want to win it.
We're the team of firsts, aren't we? First team to win the double. First European team to win the European Cup. First team to lose against a team with their manager in prison. We've done it all. We've done all the firsts. Let's be the first team to win the Conference League.
Jose Mourinho's Roma are in it. Imagine them in the final. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, wicked, mate. And I hope we are, and I hope we beat them.
That'd be crazy. Apparently, he's interested in Eric Dyer. Please, I pray. Please take Eric Dyer off hands. Please take Eric Dyer off our hands. I don't know why managers are obsessed with Dyer. Pochettino loved him. He loved him so much he changed him from centre back to defensive mid just to fit him in because we had two very good centre backs, Toby and Vertonghen. He loved him so
He
much.
was captain last night.
As well, exactly. The managers. I've got a funny thing this staying there.
He was captain last night. That's just not, he was captain. But he's not going anywhere. He was captain last night. Unless there's a late bid.
With three centre backs, it's inevitable. With three centre backs, he's going to stay, isn't it? Because we're going to need a lot of centre backs.
And he still does his usual ball watching kind of scenario, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, Dyer got a 3-year contract extension last year. Nobody's going to pay him the wages he gets paid at Spurs. He's not going anywhere, at least not this summer, and not in January either. If he's playing in the League Cup, early ties, if he's playing in the Conference League, that's fine with me. I don't really care. But he just can't start in the Premier League. It just can't happen. We have to bring in centre back.
As Shane says, if he's wearing the captain's armband, representing our club, he's going to start games. He will start a lot of the Premier League games.
No, but
I don't think so. Who was available who would wear the armband yesterday? What other player would you have chosen on the pitch to wear the armband? He's the most experienced player. Dele doesn't deserve it because of his attitude. Winks. I mean, come on. you can't make Winks the captain.
Come on. If Nuno yesterday, right, put the armband on either Dyer, Winks, Mora, Bergwijn. I mean, which player?
Put on Mora.
He should have put it on Lucas, because he's the only one who actually deserves it.
Yeah. But one thing about Mora, we have to give him the respect that he works. He does put in 100% every game he plays. Yeah. That's the thing, you see. But the sad part is like what I've been saying yesterday is that even in pre-season, if we don't show that winning mentality, right, will it reflect back later on us badly? Because if you don't show that winning mentality all the time that you play, that you want to win, you build a certain kind of a draw is okay,
if it was the first team, if it was the first team, then yeah, Eugene. But I just think, with the team we had out yesterday, mate, and Leyton Orient did play nearly a full strength squad because they are further down the line in their pre-season as well. For me, I'd pick and choose what positives. I'd be fickle and I'd pick and choose what positives I want to take out of the game. And for me, the only thing I want to take out, in my opinion, is the fact Scarlett looked good and John looked good. And they're the only two things I really want to take out. Maybe I'm in denial, but the rest of it, the likes of Dele Alli and Dyer and Winks and Carter Vickers, mate, it's as you were. It's nothing that should change my mind, has changed my mind. It's exactly what we've been saying. So I don't think we should be surprised and latch down on the fact that they had shit games. They're shit players. They're going to have shit games. It's the other ones. It's the other ones
I don't know why.
Look at some positives.
Yeah, and I don't know why anybody would be upset at Carter Vickers. Is it his fault that he hasn't been sold yet? I am sure he played in the 1966 Cup,
1961 double winning side. I'm sure in the
1962.
He's got Benjamin Button's condition or whatever. He
was in the subs bench or something, and we didn't have subs bench back then.
He is ridiculously slow, isn't he? But you say that, Kieran, but he should still stand out against Leyton Orient. He should still be okay against Leyton Orient.
Listen to yourself, Tom. He stepped up against Leyton Orient. Mate, come on.
No, he said. I think he said he should stand out. Right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, honestly, but I don't know, man. I think
that's what I'm saying. The senior players that were playing in the first half should have stood out. Right, to carry the youngsters.
But we don't
and all
expect
that.
them to. We don't expect them to.
No, we don't expect them to. But they should have. But the problem is that it was reversed. It were the two youngsters that stood out, and the senior players that what they used to do. Right. Don't blame Nuno because they were there since Poch. Right. They were there during Mourinho's time, and they are still here now during Nuno's time. The only thing now. Like my biggest fear is Nuno can't get rid of them. You see, That is
I mean,
my
Carl
biggest fear.
Vickers,
Nuno can't get rid of him.
Carl Vickers has been there for 126 years. If he's not made it in that time, then he's never gonna
Yeah.
he's never gonna make it.
Yeah.
He's ideally being American. He should just go to the MLS. Send him to MLS. They'll pay the money. They'll pay his wages.
No, they won't. That's the thing, Bob. Is that
What's
the
that?
MLS is a very top-heavy, stacked league.
Really?
Defenders make no money. Defenders in MLS are worth no money.
Oh.
All the best American defenders go
Kill
to
that
Europe.
dream, Kieran. Kill that
I'm
dream.
just saying, all the best American defenders go to Europe at a young age because MLS clubs can't afford to pay for them.
He's
MLS,
23, mate. He's 23.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like a lot of American, like really good American defenders are already in Europe by the time they're like 18 years old.
Wow.
It's because the MLS clubs, they sell them off really early because defenders can, if they're showing promise, can have a high value for them. And the thing is, they just don't, because of the way the wage structure works, the league is very top heavy. All the money is spent on attacking players and creative players. It's all spent on number 10s, number 9s, wingers. Those are the guys who make all the money, all the big players. And, that's why, the whole retirement league thing, right? How come you've never seen a formerly world-class center back come to MLS? It's never happened before.
What if we guaranteed them a shit player? Would that work?
I mean,
Levy can't guarantee. Levy's
he's
guarantee is no use nowadays.
You're talking about he'd be getting paid like $4 or $5 grand a week. I mean, that's how.
Really?
That's how poor defenders get paid.
Like their attacking players,
That's what Eugene is on.
How much can they pay for Lamela?
What was your motto, Slans?
How much can they pay for Lamela if they're really interested in their attacking players?
I think Lamela can still do a job in the Serie A. I think we could sell him to a low-end Serie A team. I think that.
He'll go Serie A.
First second I got scared. I thought he could do a job in our team, and I was like, "What job? Warming the benches?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Shane had.
I recall Mourinho was
Shane-
interested in
Shane's
bringing
gonna say
Lamela.
something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shane,
shit.
what do you have to say, Shane?
Hey, what was that, mate?
I was going to say, what's Slanscar's motto?
Go on.
What's the motto, Slanscar? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting FC.
Interested
FC.
Interested FC.
Yeah. Last week we did a show. So Sanskar said that we are just interested FC. So we are interested in everything, but just interested. Yeah.
So it's interested FC.
Yeah.
We've
down to
had a few of
FC.
them. We've had a few of them, haven't we?
What we should have done is sold Carter Vickers to Luton because he was great there and they wanted him, but obviously Levy wanted to milk another $500,000 or $1 million out
Another
of him.
2-year deal.
So, exactly. We should have just sold him to Luton because he was fantastic there. League One is probably his level, and it would have been a good move for both sides.
I think he will be sold. I think Bournemouth will eventually buy him, but I think that will happen right at the end of the transfer window, probably on deadline day with an hour to go or something like that.
We've got to remember we've got
or
the
the
Scott Parker,
English
we've got
window.
Scott Parker effect as well. You know, he
Oh,
knows
yeah.
Levy personally, so there's every chance he's going to go to him.
There's a chance. Hold on, guys. I got one more guest to bring on.
Guys.
Yes,
Hi, Daniel.
Hi,
Good. What's up, man?
Good morning, Daniel. Right. Have you taken your breakfast?
Yeah.
I bet he had yogurt.
No, he has his cereal. Yeah. Every Sunday he comes on the show, has his cereal, and then he tempts Jamie with cereal.
I'm probably gonna be going out like in 30 minutes to go to a restaurant to eat. So
all right.
Brunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have brunch. That's good. Yeah.
Tell it to the people who are still in lockdown, mate. Well done.
Yeah, we're still in lockdown.
Yeah, I'm in lockdown too.
Yeah. It's gone up to Brisbane, the lockdown, Shane.
You're lockdown, Shane, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of, we have hot zones or red zones as they call them. New South Wales is in full lockdown. Queensland's in, you've got to wear a mask if you go outside. There's limitations on how many people can be, at one party or one event.
Wow.
I think there's only 10 people at weddings and 10 people at funerals. You know, it's sort of a lockdown, but it's a soft lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah. It's UK's Freedom Day tomorrow, isn't it, Tom?
Oh, 19, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Freedom
19,
Day,
yeah.
but it comes with so many still with
Conditions.
a lot of guidances, conditions as well. So
Yeah.
face
But,
mask isn't you'd have to wear a face mask, but you must do. It's one of those.
But aren't you guys worried about the Euro Euro super spreader issue?
Yeah, I mean, I'll still wear a mask, mate. I'll still be.
No, the best thing
careful.
about this COVID thing is that we have to look after yourselves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just as long you wear your mask, you have your hand sanitizers wherever you go out, come home, do your showers and all that, and don't linger around with the virus on your clothes and all that, right? Okay, Daniel, we go to Daniel because Daniel has about half an hour. I'm going to give him the same question I gave Swayam just now, all right? This is going to be a tough one, Daniel. All right, we've talked about the preseason match. All right, we've talked about the players in and out. We've talked about Nuno's the press conference. And my last question was, if we win the Premier League next season, right, would you still want Levy out? What's your answer?
Well, that's a good question. Depends, because if we win the league with Eric Dyer playing, if we win the league with luck, that you could tell that we're not going to win the league next season. And then after we win the league, we don't buy any players, then I'll be Levy out. But if we win the league, we recruit, let's say, Skriniar, Koundé comes in, because I'm Levy out for a reason. I'm not Levy out because I don't like his head. I'm not Levy out because I don't know how he looks. I'm Levy out because he's making the wrong decisions. But if he starts making the right decisions, then there's no reason for me to be Levy out. So for me, I'm Levy out right now at the moment because he's done all atrocious decisions that I can't even understand to this day. But if he fixes himself and he gets a few players and, as you said, we win the league, my mind could change about him.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
Jamie,
Daniel,
what do you want to add, Jamie?
Well, I don't know if you read the article I just sent, but Jamie O'Hara has been sharing his opinion, and he is of the opinion that there will be no rebuild. That this is all just blowing air, and nothing much is going to change by season start. So
I honestly don't think we're going to sell the dead with this season.
Jamie O'Hara played for Billericay last season in the and he's only like 34, 35, so I wouldn't listen to what. It's 2 towns away from me. I'm in Essex, like Division 12 in England. So I wouldn't listen too much about what Jamie O'Hara has to say.
But if that kind of banter's going about, then is it just trying to restrict our expectations?
Yeah.
I guess.
But okay, if there are no players going out, right? But is there any players coming in? That's the question too.
Thing is, Jamie, the fact that we can even consider what Jamie said as a realistic possibility, I think that's a more damning indictment of the club. I think the fact that we can even consider that Spurs won't make a rebuild, I think that's a bigger problem with the club. The fact that they have lowered our expectations to this extent.
Tommy and Bob and Jamie, and Eugene, you've lived in the UK too. I gotta ask this: where does the media bias in the UK against Spurs come from? Because no club is spoken about in British media the way Tottenham is. Every time we come up, every single pundit has nothing but negative things to say, and I understand that there are reasons to be negative about our prospects, but it's almost like they have a vested interest in seeing us fail, and like the Harry Kane thing. Every time it's brought up on Sky Sports or ESPN and FC here in America, where they have British football pundits, it's always they always talk about it as if Harry Kane has all the power and all the leverage and doesn't have a 3-year contract still. They've
got to sell papers. They've got to sell papers, and the circus that our team has been over the last little while just makes perfect fodder.
Yeah.
But I agree, but even before the recent problems, so before us, losing the Champions League final, the fallout from that to where we are now, before then, it still seemed like, British football pundits just, except for the ones who are like, former Spurs players like Jermaine Genius, a lot of them just seem to always just, whenever Spurs are even brought up, like, oh well, it's Tottenham. What do you expect Tottenham to do?
We've had Levy and Enoch for 20 years, and we've always been the nearly club. Living on past glories.
Just hold on for a while. Sanska, you have to leave soon, right?
Yeah, I'll be leaving right now. Great session, guys.
Okay, Sanska, hold on, Sanska. Just drop your handphone number in the private chats so I can get in touch with you later. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thanks, Sanska.
My number and my Twitter handles on the screen. See you guys next time. Had a great session.
Okay, Sanska.
Let's hope the next time we meet. Let's just hope the next time we meet, we've made some signings. Okay.
Let's hope. Okay, take care, Sanska.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
But I understand Kieran's question because I even remember when we were top of the league, and we were top of the league, right? Top of the league, and they weren't even considering us in the title race.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wasn't either, but yeah, that's a different story.
We are the butt of the joke. We are the butt. We are the butt of most jokes.
Yeah.
There is certain bias in Australia as well.
Yeah.
Somehow, I think, Kieran, somehow or another, Spurs all these years throughout our history, right? Our media relationship in the UK has turned into some kind of if it's Spurs, it's okay. We can talk all kinds of shit about it because they've been this kind of way for the past 20 years, and we don't have a rebuttal. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't have a rebuttal. We can't turn around and say that. Oh, we can't turn around and say that we signed Haaland for 150 million because we don't do it, right? And we can't say that we won the Champions League or the Premier League or whatever cups that have been along, and we have never done it. So, it's like we always get trodden on because of issues like that. You see?
Yeah.
So
I guess, but I mean, it's not like we're the only club who have underachieved and or failed to achieve certain things. It's just like it seems like West Ham gets more preferential treatment than we do, and they've got a fan base that is always loud, always thinking beyond what they're capable of, always just propping up their team where they have no legs to stand on. And, they had a great season this past season under David Moyes, and all I've heard from British football pundits is nothing but praise for West Ham. A team who has owners who don't give a shit, hate the fans hate the owners. They moved them into that terrible Olympic stadium that has no atmosphere. The relationship there is terrible. And yet when it's West Ham, everything's, fine, and they get the same, even-handed treatment that most other clubs get. But when it's Tottenham, it's just wholly negative. It's always stacking the deck against us.
Do you know what a big thing is? Do you know what a big reason into that, I believe, is our fan base is huge. Our fan base is massive, and we've won nothing. We've won a Worthington Cup in 25 years. So if you ratio to fan base and winning trophies, ours is beyond anyone in the Premier League. We have a huge fan base. I mean, look at this internationally. Internationally, there are not many clubs that have a fan base like us. Why? Maybe it's the attacking, vibrant football we've always. That's got to be part of it. The attacking, vibrant football we had in the 90s, early. We always played in an attacking way. I'm not sure. You have to tell me your stories individually to why you support Spurs, but I reckon that's obviously a part of it. Regardless, we have a huge fan base, and we've spent serious money. We've got the best stadium in Europe. We're still not winning anything. We are the butt of people's jokes. So their club's never that bad because our club's worse. So their club's never that bad. So because our club's worse. But also, Kieran, we're looking at it from a Spurs standpoint. So we're going to hear everybody's a displeasure to us more than anything else. Aren't we? We're Spurs fans, so as soon as something pops up negative, we know about it. So that's, I think, in a way, you have to be a non-Spurs fan to realise why we're hated so much. But it is true. I done a Wolves preview, and I'm thinking, why do Wolves fans hate us? I done a Wolves stream a couple of weeks back. A couple of great guys, yeah, Sweet and Sour Soccer, and one of the boys really clued up. Fantastic guy, knows everything about Wolves. They do a lot of neutral streams as well. It was like, I fucking hate Tottenham. I really, really, really hate Tottenham. I mean, he was cursing. I was like, why? I was like, why? Like,
what have we done to them?
I can understand if you're a club in, and this is before we got Nuno. But I'm like, what? Like, if you're a London club, fair enough. It's like, yeah, we are disliked, but I think a lot of it has to do with the huge fan base we have and our lack of winning. We don't win, yet we have a huge fan base.
So that means it's all down to jealousy and envy then.
Yeah,
potentially, especially with the stadium now as well.
Jealousy, I think more of that is it's just that we are very easy to hate. It's just that they know that if they crack a joke on us, we cannot retaliate.
Jealous of what? We haven't got anything. What jealous of what?
They don't need to. They just need a butt of all jokes. The thing with, for example, Wolves' biggest rival, I think, is West Brom. They do way better than West Brom, but they still lose the derby every year. It's something like that. Like every club wants to take shot at a club that are bigger than them, and they know if they take shots at like a Man U or a Liverpool, their fans will shut them up. They have had the success previously. We cannot. The best we can do is like, all right, we were the first team to win the double, we went into a Champions League final. That's the best we can say. So yeah, it's something like that. Until and unless we start winning trophies on a regular basis, this is going to continue, like it or not.
Yeah. Guys, I need to go. I've got my kids waiting for me. So
okay,
up.
all right. Thanks for coming on. Would you like to plug?
Everyone.
Would you like to do a shout out to your channel?
Yeah. Bob
For Asian fans
did a show yesterday in the Wall. I've got the best ever show coming up next Saturday, 10 o'clock UK time. Well, we will be choosing. There's votes going out every day. The best ever, whatever. So we've got the best ever manager, best ever goal, best ever player, best ever comeback, best ever performance, whatever. So we'll be voting that throughout the week, and we'll making a show on it called the best ever.
Again, and that's when?
That's next Saturday, 10 p.m. UK time, mate.
Okay, so all you guys in Asia, certainly on the Malaysia, Manila, that's going to be about 6 a.m. our time, and that's going to be about 8 or 9 a.m. for Shane in Australia. It will be 4 a.m. for India, so maybe a bit of a sleep. So and then
and then jump on.
We'll hop on. Yeah, we'll plan that. Okay, thanks for coming on, Bobby. Catch you later.
Eugene, make sure you do. Big up, Tommy. Speak to you soon. Love you guys. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Bob.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, Bob.
Have a good time with the kids, man. Have a good time with the kids.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
So just a very quick unrelated question, because your kid's about to go for his lunch. The cereal you was going to have this morning, could you like seal it in an airtight container and send it to Manila?
They do this every Sunday, Tommy.
Especially if it's like chocolate Captain Crunch, or maybe if it's Choco Cinnamon Toast.
Jamie, wait, for your birthday, I've already told you this. For your birthday, I'm gonna send you 2 boxes of chocolate Lucky Charms cereal. But when is your birthday?
Or either that, or 1 chocolate Lucky Charms and one chocolate cinnamon toast, or whatever you had recently.
Right.
Either way, I'll tell my wife it's a birthday treat, and I'll have to abstain for the next 12 months after eating those 2 boxes of cereal.
You're not going to eat it all at one time, right?
I'll be right back.
But if I don't, it'll get confiscated by my wife and my friends who are trying to keep me alive.
Jamie and his cereal, and every Sunday morning, that's what he does to Daniel.
It's something to look forward to, in spite of COVID.
Yeah.
You know. But Daniel, don't tease me. Follow through with the promise.
Eugene, I've just been informed that it was not 30 minutes. It was actually 20 minutes, so I've got to go.
Okay. Catch
But
you later, Daniel.
you ended on a high, a sugar high.
Would you like to do your channel?
Yeah, you guys can find me at the Yid Kid. I make daily podcast. And I do FIFA videos on Friday for a career mode for Tottenham. But other than that, I'm always talking about the crisis that's going on at Tottenham. So yeah, if you want to check me out, if you like what I have to say, then go over there, smash a sub. We're on the road to 300 subs.
Well,
Recently,
Daniel, how many players did you get rid of in the first season on career mode on Spurs? And did you get rid of them? 13,
I got rid
14?
of Eric. I got rid of Eric Dyer, Davison Sanchez so far. I'm only on episode 5.
Oh, man.
A lot more to come. And I brought in Thiago Silva and some center back from AC Milan that's really high rated.
Oh, Fonny is realistic, man. Fonny is realistic.
And,
Fonny's
and
real.
you
for life,
you still can't buy Skriniar yet, right?
No, I tried, and they were super hard negotiating with Inter Milan.
He's not coming on a video game. Yeah, he's not coming on a video game, let alone for real. So yeah, really.
Yeah, Daniel, just make sure you send the link for the for your Monday night show so we can pop on there.
And an announcement an announcement I have to make though next week. I'm gonna be completely like a ghost on the YouTube, so because I have a training to do.
Okay.
It's like I don't know if you've ever watched military movies. If you know what Hell Week is.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, if you want, you can look it up. But they invited my dad's a police, so he wants me to do it. For Hell Week version for kids. So next
there's a
week
version for kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely ghosted from the me. Maybe I have a time. I come back on Thursday, so on Thursday maybe I'll be doing another video.
All right, just let us know when you have let us know when you have it on, and then we'll hop on if you can. All right,
you can title it the double hell week, Tottenham and football.
Yeah, and still no signings yet.
That'll get you good and fit for football season this year, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
Okay, Daniel. Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Enjoy your lunch.
Okay. Yeah, brunch.
Brunch, lunch, food.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick. First, go subscribe to Yid Kid, and it's really cool because recently, if anybody didn't know, he just got his first channel sponsor, which is Chobani Greek Yogurt, which is like a pretty big brand.
Oh.
So that's really impressive for him, and also for Bobby. I just want to say that if you want. We have a lot of consensus here and on a lot of other channels around different issues related to Spurs. But one great thing about Bobby's channel is he always finds people with different perspectives. You hear a lot of opinions on Bob Spur TV that you might not hear from Spurs fans on other channels. So, yeah, go check them both out. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah. And let's get back to more serious things now. Right. In the wake of all this is happening, right? Do you really think we are actually going to be in the rebuild kind of mode, or are we just going to be in a continuous kind of mode, the way you see it now? Jamie, what do you think?
Rebuild is, as long as Levy's around, is going to be a slow, protracted affair. I just hope that we make some half-decent signings, we get rid of at least some of the deadwood, and we make a more consistent go of it this coming season. But again, the next few weeks will maybe turn me from a slightly pessimistic fan into a realistic, optimistic fan, or I'll just still be the same because what I thought or feared may just maintain itself has done. So basically until the first day of the season, see what happens, because as much as I want the perfect world to be, we haven't had the perfect world in 20 years, and so I just want us to make some strengthening to the back line, make a go of it this season, keep working on getting Levy to live up to his name and leave our club alone. And that'll be me. I'd like to think that Tommy's month bender will come to fruition, and we'll have won a premiership before I pop my clogs. But this coming year, I think we'll either be treading water or making a little bit of headway. But that's as good as I can say.
Did you hear this question, Shane?
No, I missed it.
Never mind.
I'm dealing with a cat.
Okay. And Soham, what do you think, Soham?
Thing is, I mean, if you look at the last time when we had a sort of a quota, like last time when we signed a lot of players in a window was, I think, 2013-14, season after Bale, the season when Bale left. And if you look at the way we did signings, that was it 13-14 or was it 12-13? I think that's 13-14.
13-14, yeah.
Yeah, 13-14, yeah. 2013, right. The thing is, if you look at the signings we made that season, a lot of the signings came in really, really late in the window. And I think that's going to happen this time around as well. I think before the season starts, we'll have max 1 or 2 signings. And especially with the way the Paratici operates, like all this talking to 10 different players for one position before finally pulling the plug, I think that's going to go on for a long time. I don't think we're going to see a lot of transfer activity before the season starts, to be honest. I think most of it is going to be concentrated in the last 5-6 days. So you will have a bunch of signings towards the end, but we will not have a full strength squad, at least in terms of new players, when we are going to play against Man City and Wolves. I just hope we can hold on to Harry Kane for those 2 games. Hopefully he can bail us out in those 2. But yeah, other than that.
Is that a play on words? Harry Kane can bail us out?
Maybe.
And what do you think, Kieran?
Yeah, I mean, I think at minimum we're probably going to have 5 signings. I think 2 center backs, right back, center midfield, and a forward player. Hopefully one who can at least play as a number 9 if they're not officially a number 9, because we do need a backup to Harry Kane. I think it's going to be very similar to last season. I think the football will improve under Nuno. I think there will be a little less toxicity in terms of the manager and his decisions and the football we play. But I mean, I really don't see us cracking top 4 this season. City will be right up there challenging for the title again. Man, you are strengthening, and they're going to try. I personally think Man U are frauds. Unfortunately, there's not a strong enough team to knock them off their place.
I'll be going right now, guys. I'll see you guys later. Something has turned up at lab, and I'll have to leave now.
Okay.
Peace out.
Thank you. Yeah.
All
see
right.
you next time. I'll give you a call later, so. All right.
All right. Fine. That's fine.
Okay. Bye. All right. So, as I was saying, Shane,
we're going to keep under 3 hours this week.
Yeah, we keep it under 3 hours. Yeah.
So I just want to finish. I don't see us cracking top 4. I think City will still be up there. I think Chelsea will challenge City for the title. I think Man U will be strong enough to keep their position in top 4, even though I actually doubt the depth and strength of the squad. And that 4th place position, I mean, I think we could fight for it, but I don't think we'll finish there. I just don't think that there's going to be enough of a rebuild done to get us over the hump and get us back into top 4.
That's basically, Shane, that's the question. Actually, just what's your expectation for the next season? The shorten it.
Short answer, hopefully top 6. And, we get a few more players into and get a lot of this deadwood out. If it's going to take a while to get all the deadwood out, but if we can get rid of at least 3 or 4 players, this transfer window would be good. and maybe in January we might get rid of one or two. Then the next summer we get rid of a lot of them. And by that stage, we should have a strong enough team for next season, for not this coming season, the season after, to be up there challenging for top four again. And who knows? We could be challenging for the title. You know, if we get. That's if we get the right players in as well. We got to get the right players in. We can't get these, we go for a Milan Skriniar and we get Joe Roden. Not that I'm knocking Joe Roden. Joe Roden's probably our second best central defender behind Toby. And looks like Toby's on the way out of the door, so I think that, he'll become our best defender. That's if we don't get anybody else in,
Yeah.
Then by the look of it, we're going to get some young players come through under Nuno. That's why I think he fielded, 20 different players or 21 different players, in the preseason game yesterday. It is that he can look to see what players he can bring through to reinforce, because we aren't getting the signings that we want.
That's true. Yeah,
I think there's 3 Deadwood players that are almost certain to leave this transfer window, and I think any more than that is wishful thinking. I think Aurier, Sissoko, and Sanchez are very likely to leave this transfer window.
But Kieran, why would you want to keep Toby if he wants to leave?
Who's going to buy them?
So I believe Sanchez will likely. It looks like they're trying to make this happen with Koundé, and they might make it happen somewhere else because Koundé is not coming. But I think Sanchez will likely be used as make weight in a deal for somebody else. Maybe it's Lacroix instead of Koundé or somebody like that. I think
I heard it was Ura. A-U-O-A-R from Leon. That might also be the idea that we might get him with Ndombele going back to Leon.
That's not going to happen. That's
Levy won't do that.
Report was ridiculous. I mean, I agree with Matty Hayes on that. That's just
clickbait.
It is clickbait. That's insane. He's our record signing. Why would you send a 65 million player in exchange for a player who's what? 25. What are they asking for him? Like 25 million? Yeah. It's insane.
Levy won't do that. He won't do it for a loss.
Levy would never.
Considering the season we had last year, I wouldn't put anything past anything.
It's just Levy is. He won't take a loss like that. He won't. We already know this. He won't admit defeat. If he was willing to admit defeat, then Davinson Sanchez wouldn't still be on this team because he was our record signing at the time, and he still hasn't performed. We could have sold.
Danny Rose would have gone earlier.
Yeah, we've had years where we could have sold him at a loss, and we didn't do it. And exactly. Danny Rose is a perfect example. We had chances to sell Danny Rose, but Levy didn't do it because he wanted to recoup. He wanted to be able to pay for the sell-on clause that we would owe to Leeds. So it's just, it's not going to happen. I think that Sanchez will be used as a make weight most likely somewhere. And even if not, Sanchez has a market. And I think Sanchez understands that his time is done here. I don't think he wants to be here anymore. I think he knows he needs a change, and he'd probably accept a wage cut to get regular football. Sissoko definitely doesn't want to be here. He definitely knows he's not up to the level. Like, he has to know these things. Some club in France will buy him for less than 10 million. It's all a matter of whether Levy's willing to accept it. And as for Aurier has a market. Like, let's not forget, we've seen all of Aurier's shenanigans and mistakes, so we think that, who could want him? Well, yeah, sure, nobody in the Premier League is going to want him, but there are teams in Europe who are in the top 5 leagues in Serie A and Ligue 1 who would definitely take a Serge Aurier to start it right back. So
I think and Tommy, what do you think about the coming season's expectations?
So I just want to pick up on Kieran's point there. I think absolutely right with Aurier. He's been linked with so many clubs. It looks like he could go to AC Milan. AC Milan do pick up a lot of sort of average to above average players. Like Giroud the other day. They do that a hell of a lot. In fact, Sanchez has been very highly linked with AC Milan in the past. For some reason, they sign a lot of Colombian centre backs. For some reason, they always have Colombian centre backs. AC Milan. So I don't know what link that is. So Aurier, I agree. There's a market for Aurier. Sissoko, there's a market for Sissoko because let's face it, he's 32 at the start of next season. So he will go for less than £5 million. He'll go for £2 or £3 million. But it's all right. He's toxic. We get him off the wage bill. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Sanchez, on the other hand, is going to be very difficult to get rid of because Levy will not accept less than £30 million, £35 million. As you said, in a make weight is probably the only way. But the problem is, if you put Sanchez in a make weight for a £70 million defender like Koundé, Skriniar, because they're worth 60 or 70 million pounds, they won't want to come to Spurs. There'll be a bigger market for those players at better teams. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I don't think Sanchez is going anywhere. And just to talk about, I've got to go in a second. So just before I go, I want to.
I think we'll be ending the stream quite soon too, because Jamie has got to leave soon. So why don't you just do your plugins? Let us know where we can find you.
Okay, excellent. But just before I go, I just want to say that in terms of the rebuild question, Eugene, I just want to say that I believe Nuno he's gonna have to transform a few players. So some of the deadwood, there's a lot of deadwood. So some of the players are going to change. You might see the best out of the Sanchez. You might see the old Dele Alli. I think Dele Alli's gone. I think he's past. He's finished. But if for us to have any sort of successful season, some of the deadwood will have to play. Will have to perform back to what they once were, perhaps, like Ndombele. Ndombele before December was fantastic. You look on everyone's Twitter profile before December, Ndombele was on it. Spurs fans. After Christmas, he came out of the number 10 position for some reason, played centre mid next to Højbjerg, which isn't his position, and he had a bad end to the season, as Jamie rightly says.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. You're 100% correct. I've been dying on that hill.
Yeah. And before the irony is, before we took Ndombele out at number 10, we were top in December. The minute we took him out, we struggled. We went downhill. So that's his position as far as I'm concerned. So I think we're going to transform a lot of players. Scarlett may be our second striker next season. We were linked with Ings. I think he's going to go Scarlett as our second striker, Levy, because I think he's that good. We saw his finish yesterday. So a lot of it comes down to the youth and transforming players. Because I think we signed 2 players this window, maybe 3 if we're lucky. So just before I've got a barbecue. I've got a barbecue happening in a second. So we don't get 35 degrees very often in England. We don't get 35 degrees very. That's why I had to keep coming off. My laptop's heating. It's like this doesn't happen. So
we get it every day, virtually every day, Manila.
Yeah,
same here too.
Shane, I know Shane. It's winter in Australia, but 40 degrees in the summer over there. So you don't. So this is a massive day for people in England right now. It's great to meet somebody for the first time.
It's in single digits at the moment. Okay. It's 9 degrees over here at the moment.
Yeah, they're in the winter time now in Australia.
That's still a hot. That's like a hot winter for us. 9 degrees. That's like a very hot winter for us. So that's like spring. Actually, that's like spring for us. But
Okay, Tommy, go ahead.
Yeah, great to meet you for the first time. Some of you guys. Shane, obviously, you was on my stream earlier. I always see you in the chat. It's always brilliant to see you, man. And Eugene, great channel. Kieran, I know you've just started up yourself. Fantastic. Jamie, yes, the first time I've seen you. So it's fantastic. Completely different array of guests, and I love that. You say Bob Spur has that, but I believe we've got that here as well today. So thanks ever so much for having me, Eugene. And Tommy Talks Ball. I'm doing a stateside stream tomorrow at 1 a.m. So UK time, I'll do a stateside stream at 1 a.m. I only do it with American fans. It's not it's called stateside stream. So you know what I'm saying. You can only be American fans. So Kieran, you're more than welcome to come, and you keep coming. I have quite a few American guys on there, and I love the international community we have as Spurs fans. Absolutely magnificent. So see you later, guys.
Okay, have a good barbecue,
Tommy.
Boys.
Hit me up on Twitter. Big up Tommy, man.
All right, I think we'll be wrapping up soon. Shane, I don't think you have any channels and all that, but how can we find you?
Yeah, it's just me on Twitter at the moment. At Shandy_Spurs, nice and easy. I actually haven't signed up to Kieran's YouTube channel yet, but I'll do that shortly. I've heard good things about Kieran's channel. But yeah, just catch me at Shandy_Spurs, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, but we'll most probably you'll be on our channel most whenever we have it. So thanks for the support, Shane. Yeah, from Australia.
Great being on.
Yeah, and Kieran.
Yeah, you guys can find me. My YouTube channel is Spurs Sick, no spaces. I just did a stream the other day with the Yid Kid for the preview build up into the preseason match, and you can also find me on Twitter at Tottenhamitis, Tottenham ITIS, and you can see me mixing it up on Twitter a lot, arguing with people over Deadwood players. I know Shane liked a few of my tweets, so I know he saw me kind of mixing it up with some people yesterday.
There's one guy in your vein of commentary that I would love to get on. Is the Brazilian guy Marcelo?
Oh, I love Marcelo.
Marcelo.
He would be great to get on. But I mean, the time difference would be similar to you. If you could have
I know Marcelo. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll try to get Marcelo on one of these days. But the problem with Marcelo is that whenever we're doing this stream, right, he might be working.
Yeah.
He's doing a nursing job or something now, right? So our 8 a.m. this time, and when you're in that line, right, your times. Sundays are not even an off days sometimes, sometimes he works 7 days a day straight. But I'll try to get Marcelo on if I can get hold of him, and I'll have a chat with him, right?
And guys, a pre-recorded rant.
No. We like to have him live. Yeah. And guys, thanks for the time. Just wait for me in the back room for a while. Yeah, wait for me in the back room for a while while I do the outros, and I'll catch up with you behind the stage. All right, I'll just take you out for a while first while me and Jamie do the closing.
Thanks again, Eugene.
I'll see you later. Okay, guys. Today the stream is a bit shorter because Jamie needs to go home. He's actually in a friend's place.
Short as relative. 2.5 hours ain't bad.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. But it's good enough. So Jamie, I'll catch up with you the next Sunday, or maybe we'll see what we can do in the weekdays coming up, and I'll try to get hold of Soham and see whether I can get some of the India Spurs guys to come on. All right, have a good time. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, let's have something on paper. Something on paper by next week.
Just like Shanskar said, hopefully by next week we have someone to talk about. Right? Okay, guys, take care. Bye bye.